Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Downtime in the Hangar, where we talk about all things GBO2 and tangent sometimes. Hopefully not too much today. So today I'm joined
Never
by
tangent.
for real. But today I'm joined by Gustav the 13th
Yo.
and Gaming Emblem.
How's it going, guys?
So, how was your all's week? Gustav, you want to go first?
It's been very samey. But I guess the bigger thing is that I'm just still waiting for my GPU to come in so I can actually have my full ass new computer setup. Also Saga, what is it? Sagari Universe or something?
I think it's Reverse. Yeah, something like that.
That just dropped the other night, so I was playing that longer than I should have and not sleeping like I should have been.
Me too.
Up pretty late.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
I'll just say to anybody who wants to play the tutorial music, like you find a Central in the tutorial, is fucking fire, man. Oh my god. Anyway, let me not hijack Gustav. I wasn't expecting the tutorial to be so fucking banging though. Oh my god. I digress. Go ahead, Gustav.
Literally, we need that. I want that music on Spotify, like right now. Like that entire game's OST, because that shit is already hype.
Okay, I need to.
Only on the first chapter, like fuck.
I am currently bookmarking your all's VODs for that because I gotta hear this and see this. Just saying.
But yeah, I mean that's the other big thing. We finally got to continue this guy the other day, but considering certain scheduling things, especially with Maxi Boost on coming up soon, it might take a back seat again. Besides that, just doing dailies for GBO2. The rest we'll be talking about during the actual podcast.
Ooh.
Emblem, what about you?
So anyway, to continue our tangent about that cell phone game, I've been playing it too. Like I'm on a GBO hiatus because my PlayStation is needs brain surgery. As you may have noticed last night when I was having like god awful load times and my game didn't want to load at one time.
I kind of want to look at the VOD just to see what that was like. Like, oof, dude.
It's just it wasn't too bad, but you remember that one match where I was like, oh god, the portraits haven't loaded in yet.
Oh yeah.
Just stuff like that.
Like literally just assets missing, like
Yeah, pretty much. It was kind of rough. But my hard drive I believe comes in tomorrow, just in time for Maxi Boost. And
what'd you end up getting?
I swapped it up. So it's just 500 terabyte SSD.
You mean gigabyte?
I mean gig.
Yeah.
500
terabyte, amazing. Yeah,
500. You have the biggest hard drive in the world.
Yes, my PlayStation will be able to hold all of the Gundam games, which you could probably do on a 500 gigabyte hard drive.
Oof.
I know. Hate to see it. Shots fired. Bamco, make us more games. But no. Like I played a little bit too much Saga Reverse. Gustav,
so that's a phone game.
I wanted to ask you, huh?
That's a phone game?
It's a phone game, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know it was a phone game.
What did you get a SS from the very first like pool?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't
SS was Hector, so
I think I got Hector too. That's got the eye patch, right?
Hector's really common. Like from you know how you had that courtyard or like the open area where all the characters are running around. I think those are supposed to be other accounts, or at least eventually they will be when it's more populated. And
right.
I saw a lot of Hectors running around. But I also saw a Gustav that was in there. I was like, hell yes.
Jelly.
I need it in my life. I got Johan. I didn't get fucking Gustav, and then I got Guinea or Ginny. I always forget how people actually say her name, but she's.
I think I know. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Like right now, I've got Gerard. Gerard fucking claps. Like holy crap, he's mean. He knows. He has like one of his attacks is AOE. He has Mirage Blade, and it hits everything on the screen. And then his third attack is Doppel Smasher and does crazy deeps. It's awesome. But I like him, Al Kaiser. Al Kaiser's nice. Phoenix does really good fire damage. Like it's pretty cool. But Hector, yeah, I got Hector too. I probably say like the only other character that I really want to get is Erpina right now. She's from the PSP game.
Okay. I know I got blue the other day, and then
Nice.
rouge. Apparently, the guy that I was looking at his stream for got like 1,000,000 rouges.
Nice.
So they literally have a counter for every time they get him during a spin.
Nice.
Like, what type of game
But that's
is
pretty
this
cool.
exactly? Or
This is
It's an
another,
RPG.
like, it's
Oh,
an
okay.
RPG gotcha kind of thing, kind of like Record Keeper or
Yeah, that's a really
Brave
good example.
Exodus, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
There's one more kind of funny thing I want to touch on in the game before I finish. How was it going? Gustav, do you like how the tooltips have to like convince the Saga players that the game doesn't run like a normal Saga game? Like it's like LP, your characters won't die when you run out of LP, or the fights don't get harder the more you grind, and just stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Don't worry about it. You'll do fine. It's just like
We don't keep track of battle count. The enemies won't get meaner.
they totally don't scale.
But no,
Oh my God.
I'm playing that. It's a lot of fun, and the soundtrack is great. Like usually I have the phone off whenever audio off whenever I play the cell phone games, but
This got
I might have
some
to make an
bangers
exception.
after it, like
Oh yeah,
Yeah, anything that has some good music, I definitely have to check out.
yeah. I mean, outside of, like random town themes, and even some of those are really good, depending on what you're looking at. I haven't heard like a Saga soundtrack that doesn't have at least like 8 or more like just straight fire tracks on it. Their music is so good. And that's me lowballing. Yeah,
Yeah.
good so far. Hopefully I'll be able to get back on GBO2 a little more reliably once I change out the hard drive.
that, or this will end up consuming your soul. Who knows?
I mean, between that, PSO2, the new game mode,
Oh God,
we'll
yeah.
see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's that? I saw you playing the new game mode yesterday before I hopped on.
It's a lot of fun. It's very similar to that thing we did with Aoshi, where you just kind of like hop into a dungeon at level 1, and you just kind of like procure. In this case, you have to procure gear, so it's a little bit more roguelike, or even more roguelike-y, I would say, than the
Okay.
Final Fantasy one is, because you go with your class and just upgrade your stuff, but your gear never changes because you're given gear on the fly. So you have to like build your character as you go, because you like you procure like skill disc and armor and weapons from chests and stuff as you go along through the game. So
is this
you'll
just
get to a
permanent
shop.
new mode?
Yeah. They have blocks for it too. Like if you want to play it, if you go to the block transfer, you scroll down. It's like block 300. It skips some numbers. They didn't add like a bunch more blocks, but it's like block 300 to like 350 or whatever number of blocks they have, and you transfer over there, and then you can do the I think they call it like quest decision or some nonsense like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you start out barehanded. You just punch things, and then you get some weapons and go from there. But you have to get either pushed as far as possible or beat the 5th mission. And I guess you get the miles that I'm not sure how you spend yet, and use them for something.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Definitely gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, one of these days I'll beat it and figure out what you do with the miles. I could probably just do a little bit of reading and find out. But I don't hate it. It seems pretty fun.
Just gotta wiki it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
I guess Dragoon's listening to the podcast. I currently Fantasy Star Open, and he's telling me what you do with it. Apparently it's in the swap shop.
So, yeah, is that your week pretty much?
Yeah. My week is summed up in my lack of sleep last night playing Saga.
There you go.
Because everything else is pretty much the same.
So for me, lots of Path of Exile, and then prepping for actually it was more just Path of Exile because I already prepped last week. So
Right.
lots of Path of Exile, dailies in GBO2, dailies in PSO2. Definitely gonna have to check out that new game mode. I'll see what this is for this mobile game you guys are talking about. But then we had the first session of the tabletop RPG last night. That was a lot of fun. I forgot how exhausting it was to actually GM, like, mentally. Like, by the time it was done and we were, like, playing Gundam, I was like, yep, I am here. I am not about to fall asleep at all. My mind
Clocked
is,
out.
yeah, like, pretty much. So, but for real though, it was a ton of fun though. There was some interesting moments, and then I'm actually kind of sad about what happened with one of the characters. But that video is going to be going up. Well, probably by the time this podcast is over, it should go up. If YouTube's gonna actually do YouTube proper YouTube things, because like I tried to get the update video up, and that took like an hour and a half just to get that to work. So hopefully it's up tonight. If not, then hopefully it's up by tomorrow morning. But yeah, should be tonight. And all I gotta say though is that's pretty swish. There we go. Pretty much. Other than that though, more Path of Exile stuff and things was done this week. Lots of Path of Exile. Oh yeah, Maxi Boost though. I will mention that too. One big thing with Maxi Boost, this time I didn't DC from the host every time I played them. It worked. So yeah, that was the other big thing of note, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, coming up soon. Gonna have another weekend session going on.
Yeah. So that said. Oh, by the way, as far as the one last thing, as far as the tabletop session, Emblem's in it. We've got Ace, we've got Hikaru, and then joining in the second session is going to be Storm Shield and Haruka Junko. So the last two, they already know the rule set, so they're kind of coming in. This was more of a tutorial session. I think I covered everything with this session. I think we literally used just about every mechanic in the game. So mission accomplished. But yeah, there's that too. But anyway, Zero Shiki, which is just weird. I keep wanting to call it something completely different because I think of the Hyaku Shiki as literally the same word. So yeah, I'm probably gonna. I keep saying on stream like the normal Shiki or the actual Shiki or whatever when I get killed by a Hyaku Shiki, and I feel like I'm gonna trigger some people by saying that, but oops.
The Rick Shiki.
There you go, Rick Shiki. So yeah, what do you guys think about it? Any base thoughts before we hop into the stats?
Interesting to see it in action yesterday. I actually kind of like it. The way his downswing looks better than the regular Shiki. Not from like a flare standpoint, but just because it feels a little bit safer. And it covers a little bit more ground without your foot going way up in the air. So I'm interested to get it. It's also interesting that it has a charge rifle, apparently.
Yeah, which the thing I don't like about that is, from what I've seen and from what I've been attacked by, I've never hardly staggered from one. The thing I fear most is their like swings because of the range on it. But I don't know. That's been the weird part about it is its beam rifle. It takes what 3.5 seconds I think to charge, and the normal shot doesn't stagger. So the only insta stagger option is the clay bazooka. So yeah, so unless the beam rifle has some decent damage output, I don't know, feels a little weak sauce. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know. This feels like another one of those instances of like, maybe once we get further into the week, we'll see some people get like extra sweaty with it, and it'll be good. But like,
yeah, like the Ashimar,
right
for
now
instance.
yeah, Or like even like the Mark III, right? Like I feel like it's kind of earned a spot just because of its output, even though it's not like stagger heavy.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll be another instance like that, especially since it's another general suit.
Yay!
Yeah, there's that salt that I've been saying that would come up today. So I guess that's a good time to go ahead and just talk about stats then, I guess. Emblem, what are we looking at for stats on this thing?
And
I'll pull up the normal sheet.
As far as level 1 goes, which it's 550 level 1, 600 at level 2. Suit HP is 1600 at level 1. It goes up to 17. HP. Yeah, it goes to 17 at level 2. Anti ballistic at level 1 is 19, 21 at level 2. Beam defense is 19, 21 at level 2.
Oh, okay, so that's interesting. So the beam
melee
defense
resistance
is
it less?
Way less. So the Shiki has 40 beam resist, and ballistic it has 22 at level 1.
It doesn't have that coating anymore.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not gold because Char is a swag, or Quattro Bagina is a swag lord. Melee resistance is 22 at level 1 and 24 at level 2.
So that's got that's got it by 16 is the normal Shikis, which I find that kind of interesting because if you're going to get in there with melee, and those generals melee you're going to get clapped by the meleeing generals at this point. So it's like, I don't know. How many if you don't mind skipping to the part slots, what does it have on those?
Level 1 this is short, medium, long.
Yeah.
Has 14, 20, and 6.
Wow.
And level 2 is 15, 22, and 7.
Yeah, so the Shiki has 15, 14, and 11. So you could even get more melee res with that 20? What in the world? Holy
you
crap.
Said 15, 14, and 11?
Yeah.
So they have the same amount of slots at the very least.
Yeah.
Is that level 1? It's just spread differently. Although generally the game does a pretty decent job of keeping slot distribution, at least along similar style suits. I can't say for like every suit. I don't know if every suit at 550 is like 40.
Right.
But usually whenever you have like a suit that's pretty much like a pretty solid comparison, kind of like how we were talking about the GM3 and the G-Line standard, the slots tend to be like pretty close in regards to like the numbers. I can't remember the number of slots between those two suits, but anyway, as far as offensive stuff goes, the level 1 has 30 shooting correction and 33 on level 2.
Okay, so that beats this.
Fighting or melee. Is it better than the Shiki?
Oh wait, sorry. I thought you were saying both. Okay, so what's the melee? My bad. I thought you went range to melee. But that was 1 to 2.
No.
I was like, holy crap, 30 on both?
No, it was both shooting.
Get me out of here.
It's 25 melee at level 1 and 27 at level 2.
Okay, so you got 27 and 28 for ranged and melee on the Shiki. So
for level 1.
Yeah, for level 1.
728. So this is 55 total between the two, in regards to those stats.
How many close range slots?
Yeah, it's the same. Close range?
Yeah.
14.
Okay, so I mean, technically you can get so technically it's better. The Hyakushiki's better at melee and the enhancement wise, but I'm really curious to see what their percentage per swing is when we get to that.
Yeah, I think that'll be a big point. Speed is 125.
Okay, I'm glad the Shiki wins that.
How much more?
By 5, 130.
Okay. boosting speed is 205.
That's the same.
Oh, you can't run from it. Feels bad. Thrusters are 75 on this thing.
It wins in thrusters, 70 on the Yakushiki.
This is not like a huge jump.
Yeah.
Generals tend to have more boost and raids and stuff anyway. So that's interesting. Well, depending on the raid anyway. So it's not some high mobility like comp or something. Turn speed on the ground is 72, and in space it's 78.
So
Not to mention that this suit has space specialization.
So does the Shiki. Or the Yakushiki.
Which makes sense.
But yeah.
Right. I can't tell from this what the melee priority is. Hold on a second. I believe it's 2, but let me just pull up another thing real quick.
It'd be interesting if it's 2 because the Yakushiki has 3.
Yeah, it is 2.
It is.
Well, that makes sense. It's a general.
Yeah.
I think general should have 2 unless they have some kind of glaring notable downside and are focused on melee. So that feels good to me. I don't want to be I don't want to be a Yakushiki clashing with frickin' Zero Shiki. Screw them.
Melee 2, please.
Saying the counter is a kickoff. I'm sure. I guess it's just a little standard little like GM kick thing.
Pretty much.
19 seconds for level 1 to respawn. 21 for level 2. And that's a good information. If you can see our image, it's a 3-star. But if you're just listening, it's a 3-star suit.
So, what is it? So, does it have its own separate beam saber? And because I know its beam rifle is different.
Yeah, it has its own beam rifle. Seems like it shares the clay bazooka with the Rick DS.
Yeah.
It does have its own beam saber. It's a 0 type beam saber. Level 1 is 2000 base damage. Level 2 is 2100.
Ah, okay. So the Shiki level 1 is 2500.
Also, I may have said it had 1600 HP earlier. It was 16,000 and 17,000 respectively for level 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's got 1,000 more health than the Shiki. That's one thing I was curious was what the resistances were. So it's like better it's got more melee survivability, but less beam survivability. Which, I mean, the beam survivability makes sense, of course, but everything else is pretty much the same except for, like, ballistics they're about equal. Like, what, 3%? But kind of awkward that that it has so much more melee resist. What about the modifiers to its swings? What do we got for those?
Neutral is 100%. Sides are 75, and the downswing is 92 times, so 180 if you hit with both.
I remember the Shiki got adjusted. Is that the same as the Yakushiki?
It's more.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, wait a minute. So this entire time I've been like, oh my gosh, it's got 2,500 for the beam saber, and if it's hardly any much more, then
it's 30% more.
Oh my gosh, okay. Get me out of here! Like
boosted generals. Woo!
Let's go.
I was like, oh my gosh, we actually got a win maybe for the raid actually having a thing, but no, it's better in melee, it's better in melee resist, it's better in its range damage.
You might as well just play this instead of the Shiki. Like,
the only thing the Shiki has is its beam resist, but then again, this thing's melee is...
But you might as well just...
I mean, so the only thing that the Shiki has over it at this point, in my opinion, is its beam rifle actually is just an insta-stagger.
Yeah, you don't have to charge it or anything.
Now, you have 500 more base damage on a Yakushiki's beam saber.
Yeah, but you scale
30% a lot of damage, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's over 2 hits, so that's 30% 2 times.
No, it's 15 between both hits.
Oh, the 15 between both. Okay, sorry. I thought it was 60% more
hit,
total.
Yeah.
I was
Duh,
like,
bruh, if it
holy,
had been like
what?
that, it's like they're crazy. Buff the Shiki right now.
Yeah, okay. So the 30%'s not as bad. Like that is okay, cool. That's manageable. So yeah, the Shiki actually does have more damage at that point
That's
then.
not apocalypse level.
The Shiki, they're about the same though. Like at that point, the
Yeah,
difference
it
is
probably
minimal.
evens out,
Yeah, they're about the same then. So I thought it was like
which is
60
kind of
overall.
unfortunate.
So ultimately, it's still a
Oh,
blue flavored Shiki. Like,
It probably does its job better because it doesn't take bonus damage from all the
it
other
also has technically 2
raids or
tackles because of
generals.
that precision skill or
oh
whatever.
yeah, it
Yeah,
has 2
right.
tackles too. So it has the.
So
Like the DS.
he could just counter out of shit whenever it
So
wants.
what's its? Does it only have 1 dodge roll then?
Yeah,
Okay, so the
Yeah, I
Shiki
believe
has
so.
2.
because it doesn't have level 2 or anything.
So that's
But
kind of
how
cool.
does it roll with those giant binders?
They let it do it anyway. Whatever. Stupid.
I just want to see it spin like a dom.
It
Actually would be kind of
whoosh.
cool.
But okay, so
Extra breath from the binders and lets it spin like a dom.
Hashtag make the Zombie spin.
Oh my god.
oh
Zombie
no.
dodge roll.
Deja Zombie.
It's like,
Yeah,
did
the
it
DJ
just
can roll
rotate? What did
too.
it do?
Good point from chat there. The DJ can roll. So
Yeah, the DJ can roll too, and its giant wings and
They're
just
not even
crushes
wings,
those
they're
things.
just bits. I don't
okay,
understand.
so
Stupid.
since we do have a lot to cover, let's go ahead and final thoughts on the Zero Shiki Go. Who wants to go first?
Looks good. The main weapons are interchangeable. Its comp is the beam rifle, and you could do. It looks like either the 2 versions of the shrapnel bazooka, the stun version and the bang bang DPS shotgun version. Or you can do the charge beam rifle. The beam rifle has a 25% heat rate, so you can go bang bang lazy beams with it if you want to, and 3-second charge time makes it very similar to the Goku beam rifle.
Oh yeah, what's its damage?
It also has 1200 non-charge. It goes to 2300 on a full charge at level 1.
Okay,
1260 at level 2, 2415 at level 2 for a full charge. Stagger rate is 35%, 65% on a full charge.
So
you can stagger in about 3 hits.
What's its cooldown time between shots?
Half a second.
So it's an Alex beam rifle essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's actually better than the Alex. That's interesting.
Speaking of the Alex, I just had one of my better games in the Alex in a while, and it was still a loss because I wiped the board and everyone else did jack.
Feels
Oh my
bad.
soul! I was first in the entire thing too. Just like, come on, dude. Oof.
Okay, so it's pretty much an Alex beam rifle is what it can use. That kind of changes my perspective on it a little bit.
I think they had to kind of keep it like that brief, I guess, in the way that it behaves, because otherwise, if it's too slow at that cost, you're just in trouble.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the Gelgoogs kind of get away with it because it's just generally higher output. But even those guys, like some of those, still have other options that they should probably be using.
yeah. But yeah, Emblem. So, sorry. What's your
No,
final
you're
thoughts?
good. I just wanted to point out it's you can play it a couple of different ways. You can do like standard herp derp bluezuka, or you can play more Barzam Alex shooty style.
Yeah.
With it, was just a big takeaway.
Gustav, what do you think on it?
I kind of want it just to mess with. At the same time, I mean, if I ever got the Mark II, I think that would probably still sit there. Shit, if they gave me a higher level Barzam, that could probably still sit there pretty with this.
Ooh,
So I
yeah,
don't know. I'm just hoping that we get maybe, and this kind of goes back to the idea of them holding off on some of the bigger stuff for the anniversary. I'm just hoping we get some more class diversity at this point.
pretty much. But like the for me, I feel like where I haven't been getting stunned a lot from it, but again, I kind of feel this with when I'm fighting an Alex too as a support. The only thing is I feel like the Alex has a lot more damage to go with it. And the beam rifle actually has less heat rate, but it has about the same damage as a level 1 Alex beam rifle. So, yeah. So its damage really isn't up there. And
like in relation to how it's like, what's the baseline output?
Oh, what's the stagger ratio? I missed that.
For which one?
The
For the
Shiki
rifle,
beam rifle.
I guess.
The beam rifle?
Yeah.
It's 35 a shot. 65 on a full charge. So you stun in 3 shots.
All right, yeah, that's the same too then.
So you could go in, like the thing is though, I wasn't getting staggered. By the time I noticed, oh, one's shooting me, turn around, missile. Okay, now I'm just going to knock you down and missile your legs and laugh at you because I'm the MLRS. But again, it's a blue suit and I'm an MLRS, so fair enough, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, like, you could probably torture a raid to death with this thing, but I mean,
it's interesting to see
can't.
like Nemo 3 is trying to contest the support spot against MLRSs too right now. I don't know if it's quite there. It's definitely a good option,
not.
but it's not quite there.
Also, I can't say much. I haven't really had a chance to play against it much, besides those matches last night.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I was saying before, like I haven't seen one do anything too crazy yet.
Yeah, pretty much. So I don't know.
It sure is a suit. It sure is another general suit too.
That is true.
Oh yeah.
The ho-hum is strong, even though it does look kind of cool.
I guess my big question is it better just because it's a general for the Shiki? Maybe. But yeah.
I mean, I'm still seeing a general pattern where like anyone who's taking the raid slot is either amazing or just taking the fall for the team.
Pretty much.
So like I feel like anyone who gets this is probably gonna favor this over the regular Shiki.
Most likely. Yeah.
Or if they have a Mark II, then they probably don't care either way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, why not use the best raid in the game, the Mark II? So anyway, let's go ahead and hop into this giant amount of patch notes. So
It was a considerable update.
Huge.
go ahead and bring it up on the screen if I get the right one. Okay, so I guess we can start with the banners and stuff, and then we'll get into like we'll cover all the extra stuff, and then we'll get into the big list of we'll do the maintenance thing last, I guess. So the the Shiki's in the game, really cool. Level 1 and 2, 550, 600. Cover the general. If you do the 10 spin, you get a chance to get the Quattro shades again.
That's good.
Be styling and profiling.
Yeah.
I need more of that, please.
The full armor Gundam and the Gelgu cannon level 4 got added, and there's a banner for it. So what do we think about that banner, and can they hold up at 600?
I think the cannon's got a good combo going for it. Full armor might have a little bit of a tough time, but I mean, it's still a good template.
Yeah, it's always solid.
I think both suits are snacks at their level 1 cost, so I think they're gonna have a tough time at those costs personally.
As a support guy,
kudos to those new types that will own with it, but I feel like overall, it'll just get bullied.
I feel like the mobility isn't there with them now, unless they somehow do some crazy stat upgrades. They are level 4s, so you do get.
I mean, that's the problem with the class in general.
Yeah. You're right about that.
So they're both level 4, so they'll get the complex expansion slot too, which could be kind of nice. But being 600, I mean, you've got like the MLRS up there, and I would argue the Jaeger that already exists there is better. I mean, there's already so many more options that you probably would take, and there was even some 550 options that I would take before I would probably take these. Now, there are those people that just play the Gogu cannon, and that beam chunks. So this level 4 beam is going, I don't know, 7k damage or something to a general. Like, I don't know how much it would be, but it's gonna
hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna chunk. But after that, though, I feel like there's too much mobility right now for it to, like, any Gaplant is just gonna come in and be like, hey, snacks. Even the Bolin Oats might be able to snack on this.
Is there a good stagger ratio on its arm rockets either?
Yeah, it's pretty good. You can stagger with that, and then the beam, or then the bazooka as well. So it has some options. You can knock down.
Yeah, like either you have to hope that you can outspace them and catch them on the stop for the boost, or nail them as they're zooming in on you and just make them run into your missiles. But even after that, well, now you're on cooldown for those, and you gotta hope that they don't have enough boost to just reach you anyway and then nail you. Or at least like time your tackle and hope that the game lets you actually counter.
So yeah, again, if you really like these suits and you're new typing with it, then fair enough. Good luck, have fun. But if not, and you're trying to be like, what suit to get? Well, there is an option in the ticket shop right now that is a 550 called the MLRS, and I would say it's the level 1 version would be better than both of these suits, even though they're 600. Just saying.
I agree.
So, yeah. I would say save your tokens too, because there could be a really awesome support coming up.
Or spin for those so that you can actually get your recycle tickets to actually get the MLRS.
Yeah, you need more recycle tickets so
if you
can
need
get
recycle tickets, then,
the better suit.
And your platinum medal, which we'll get to later.
Yep, getting there.
Well, that'll be next month. But yeah, so let's see. Next thing, there's the banner for it. So the level 4 twin beam rifles in. Cool stuff and things. So we have a step up banner for 2-star materials ×2, 3-star materials ×2, and a 3-star mobile suit guaranteed at step 3.
Yeah.
Unless you're just like got a mountain of tokens lying around, I would say wait, because anniversary event's coming up. I'm gonna be stacking my tokens as much as I can.
Winter is coming anniversary meme.
So yeah.
Just roll hard during anniversary and get to 0 Shiki then.
Yep. And none of the actual banner suits. You'll be right.
Yep, exactly. I hope not, because I want to get my Cubile, which they won't wait till Double Zeta Gundam to release.
Oh man,
I don't care if Hamad
end of the game.
No, I don't care if Hamad wants to be Judah's or girlfriend, or whatever.
A little weird. I have to call the cops.
Oh no, I mean I think Hamad would wear the pants in that relationship. Just saying.
I mean, pretty much, does he be like his mom?
Oh, God.
That's only a 6-year age difference, right? I think that's about right.
Whoop whoop.
Hamad needs to wait until it's not jailbait, and then it won't be a big deal. Judah would just be the cool guy that got a hot girlfriend.
Meanwhile, he ends up apparently turning into like a crusty ass janitor that just runs around in a junk Gundam.
Yeah, see if he had sexy MILF Mama Haman, maybe he would, maybe the gump wouldn't be so cool gumpy.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the event, there better be the Cubile, the Yo, and the Bound Dog. Those are the 3 I want to see. Just saying.
And Psycho Gundam Mark II.
Yes. That's the new boss.
Pretty much the exact same raid, but you just fight the Psycho Gundam Mark II.
Yeah. So the other thing that we got, which was off on its own, probably because there's a huge list of everything, is the Hangar got a buff, which is kind of funny that we just like had that situation of you running, and then I made a little video about like Hygog needs a buff, and
ta-da! It got its own page and everything.
Yeah.
It's so
so I think the stats are and like some of the skills are kind of the big thing here, maybe. But it got 1,000 health, so 16,000 now, and that's base at level 1, and all levels got this. All levels got an increase to their ballistic and melee defense, so 14 to 22 for ballistic, and 5 to 15 on melee, which is a pretty big deal. It got the shoulder buffer, which I think somebody actually mentioned on that Reddit post that I posted. It was like, why not the shoulders like have some like armor, like so that it takes less damage. So yeah, they got a shoulder
It's needed
buffer.
that for a while, yeah.
Level 3 too. It got damage control level 2, which is kind of interesting.
I know there's some raids that need that skill,
right? And then
the bowl of oats.
Bowl of oats, yes. And anti-blast stabilizer level 1.
Amazing skill. Every suit that's not a general should have that.
Yeah.
Or support. All the raids should have anti-blast. I don't see why they don't.
It's a little weird.
Except for like maybe the Zuda.
Like when I'm trying to zoom through a bunch of courses, I just meleeed and suddenly I'm just like, hold on, wait, no.
Oh, I gotta take a knee.
Yeah, as a pixie, when you literally just need to like get that follow-up downswing on that dude and then get out, and you just get put to a knee, and then the generals are already like salivating as they're swarming you, and you're on a knee dying.
Screeches in the background, like, oh no.
Yeah. Pretty much. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead, Magnum.
Then it has the torpedo tube ×4 reduced switching time, which is nice. And I'm curious to know if this is what was causing it, but reduced blur when shooting the hand missile.
So, are you saying what was causing it, as in like stunning yourself? Because that won't be fixed. This does big dumb gangly arms.
What I'm saying is, was it causing it by like you getting flinched, so then you shoot the ground instead of shooting? So like if somebody's hitting you with a machine gun, you get that little flinch action. Is that what was causing it to kind of shoot down into the ground?
No, it's because that's big dumb gangly arms.
I mean, it's probably that.
Like if they changed how the high gog held its arms, where instead of it doing like
this, like I'm gonna shoot the missile
underhanded
this way.
Like scoop, it literally just puts
like
its
like
arm
this.
straight out.
Yeah,
and just like, I'm gonna shoot you with this rocket here. Maybe it would reduce it.
Yeah, exactly.
But the high gog is like super chill. It's always vibing, and it's just like, it puts its arms up whenever you're shooting the
the
palm laser. But for everything else, it's just kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Oh, this missile, it's too heavy. I gotta just hang on. Let me put it on the ground here, right? That won't hurt. Oh,
oh God, my body.
It was literally digging its claws in the ground during the animation all the time, just slapping that whole thing around. That's why they needed the encasing on that one tiny ass missile to be so huge, because these things just like to slap their hands all over stuff, just like, oh, hold on.
Blow up in its hand. Which already does on
it's
on
just
the way.
Like clanking around in there, like, hold on, let me just open it, and then wherever it goes, it goes.
Yeet.
But as far as the adjustments go, like the Hygog was already one of those suits where like it had a lot of good stuff. It's kind of like a similar situation to the Akai. We already had like really good kit maneuvers, because I mean, Akai or the Hygog can double dodge roll. It has maneuver armor. Those torpedo missiles you can fire while dashing, and they stun. Yeah. And you don't have to hit with both. You only have to hit with one. It has chest Vulcans that it can fire while moving.
Yep, which also have a high stun ratio on them.
Yeah. The beam that it fires does pretty solid damage. It has rapid fire. It's very similar to the Zagaki. Like you can pop off of those pretty well. The ready up times between its attacks are really nice. Its downswing hits twice. And it has combo controller, so you can do like you can do a neutral into the downswing if you want to, but you don't even really need to do all that.
Not to mention the neutral actually comes up pretty fucking fast.
Yeah, like it's got some good stuff. It's just one of those suits that gets held back by the fact that it's super gangly
body.
Yeah, it's one of those clunky to use kind of things.
Put all those stats on a regular humanoid suit, and they'd be like, "This shit's busted. It's too much."
Yeah, that's one of the big things with it. So I figure we're gonna have a situation to where it's like, "Hey, it's been buffed too much now. It's OP." But yeah. We'll see when that happens.
Hygog is just
we'll see.
Everyone looks at it as just like eating paste in a corner, like, oh, you know what, it needs it. Someone who's really sweaty with this will be amazing, but anyone who gets stuck with this is like, oh, but this is my favorite suit from War Pocket, you guys. It should be good. Just like, yeah, you'll have a chance.
Yeah, the person
And
who's like
results regardless.
Just for perspective, the downswing on the Hygog does 130% damage per swing.
Whoa.
Like it doesn't reduce because it's just the one. It's high.
So that's a 260% melee modifier attack.
Ooh. Yeah,
that hurts.
That kind of sounds cool. I might be playing some Hygog here later. But yeah,
it's fun.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a ton
of fun. 1v1 more. The Hygog is really cool for duels.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun to play for sure. Like it definitely has the fun factor going for it.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until it turns into a 1v1 with that suit, and then you're just like, oh no, there's no one here to like hit its big dumb body for me. No.
Yeah, as long as they're playing it right, they have protection because they can engage you while boosting. So maneuver armor's up and they just stagger you anyway. If you use your stun, they just big boy rocket you or something.
Just don't roll because your iframes will not exist. Because on top of the latency, it takes forever to kick in because it's got very dramatic animations for it.
Oh yes,
hey, that thing hits the dirt when it rolls.
Oh my gosh, the roll on that thing is the funniest thing.
It's so funny.
It's got the funniest
just
dodge
roll around in the
mud. But yeah, so as far as that goes, though, Hygog feels pretty good. Really curious to see.
Gog.
Hygog, hi New.
Hi Zach.
But yeah, so there's that one. And
hi Mega Cannon.
So pretty much the I guess we'll go over the missions right now real quick, and then we'll actually talk about what the kits do and stuff. We'll actually get into that. Or actually, here let's go ahead and skip real quick to a different thing because.
And now for something completely different.
Yes. Mix up. Talk about the mix up balance real quick, because then we'll cover the rest of. We'll cover the platinum thing and the modification as its own big topic. So we'll skip down to the mix-up changes. So,
which page is that on, Magnum?
That is on the application data update version 0.0129.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's about halfway down. So mix-up, 100 cost and 150 cost got nerfed. 200 did not change. And then 250 through 500 got buffed. Which is kind of surprising because I already think that 400 cost is like the sweet spot. Between 300 and 400.
Yeah, I like 350 and 400.
Yeah.
Whenever I play mix up.
So like the 100 is getting nerfed. That's fine. They were getting 5,000 health. Now they're getting 4,250, and 150 was 4,500. Now getting 4,000 per death. But the big news is their cost for the gauge up at the top, the damage gauge, they're now worth 200 and 230 for both those costs. Again, 200 did not change. 250 is 330, and these are every 50 from there. 380, 450, 560, 720, and then 850 for 500 cost. 550 and 600 has had no changes. But essentially now, instead of costing 600 points per death when I'm in my GOG, trying to get to my final form, now it's 450, which is really a big deal. That's 30% almost just gone from the damage that I would have been taking for running in and dying. So that's a pretty big deal. But I still think the sweet spot is going to be 300 to 400 though. So
or just the Mark II.
Or just or you could just use like the Mark II or the MLRS. That can happen as well.
It'll be interesting though. I think the big thing that they wanted to do with this, which I don't play mix up enough, but I've heard like full low cost teams just like 100 and lower, or lower 100 and like 150 rather, just kind of blow out because they're super tanky, and when you do kill them, you just don't get any points for it because you get like what was it before, like literally 100 or something taken away. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
especially if you engage them the same way that you would like your typical suits, because like now they actually had the advantage and could just like smack you around.
Yeah, you'd have to
you
kill.
Legit have to just treat them at range and just make sure they never get close to you. But it's such an endurance thing. Like you're literally losing by attrition.
Yeah, like you'd literally have to kill 11 of them for every 1 600 cost that they get to kill. And I mean, with that much health, and if you have type advantage, you know, like your raid, if your raid happens to be the 600 cost, then oops, mistakes were made. So fair enough. Pretty interesting change. We'll see if it. I don't think it's going to change the meta too much, but at least it might get rid of the all 100 and 150 cost teams, because it was a little frustrating just being out tanked by super amounts of health. So let's see what else we got. Battle simulator changed. So they have 400 as the Psycho Zaku thing. No, 400 is the survival, and 250 is the Psycho Zaku. Why am I saying that? Psycho Gundam.
See, John.
But Psycho Gundam, pretty much they interesting thing right now, the current #1 in singles against the Psycho Gundam. Take a guess. What do you guys think?
Camphor.
250 cost.
Bunch of CD still.
Cold Districts.
See, that's what I was gonna say.
Bunch of guys.
That would be funny. Well, no, literally the solo kill. The solo kill. One person by himself.
Goof.
It is.
Or Rabbit.
The Night Seeker 2 is in first place.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right behind it is the Rabbit type. So I'm like, wait a minute, does it really have that much damage output?
Well, it also has those machine guns as a sub weapon, so you're just like drilling their legs with that, right?
So you can pop its legs. So not only that, so you can definitely get that stagger ratio up really fast with those. So is it just doing that and then getting the super damage, or does it actually have some massive damage output? So that's kind of getting me scared for this thing. It hits mainstream. I'm like, oh no.
I'm ready for it.
Bang, 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 shoot.
For everyone who's still sitting there with the MSV and being like, this is kind of cool, but I want something a little bit better, this might be the answer.
Yeah. So that was the big thing there. Of course, in the 400, the GAN is pretty much top tier for that. You have the Zogox and, the usual stuff. So nothing too out of the ordinary there. Anyway, let's go ahead and skip down to the ticket shop and the DP store, and then we'll go back up to the top and rant for an hour. So MLRS and the Zoc level 1 instant buy for me on the Zoc. If I didn't have the MLRS, then
I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, high five, Gustav. That was well timed. That actually looked like we somehow high fived through the thing.
The sound effects.
Important.
Yeah, it would have been one of those awkward ones that you see in movies where the guy goes for a high five and the person that doesn't get it does thumbs up, and then you just have one of those moments.
Oof.
But the sound effects were on point.
Yeah. Okay, so
anyway, the wrong slide from Gustav.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wait, did you thumbs up?
Yeah, I did.
Oh no, I'm looking at the page. Oh no, so we had the sound effect with the thumbs up and the high five. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's even better. Okay, 10 out of 10. So the ticket shop, we have the MLRS. Let's talk about that first. It's OP, get it. If you don't have it, and you're a support player, get it. This is S tier.
Literally just turns you into Missile God.
This is the top tier support.
I mean, there are some people that I see play that really well that don't even bother with the missiles that much. Like the Vulcans are just that good, and they just go in and smack people when they don't expect them to do it.
Like,
and
yeah,
it
that's
works.
pretty much. If you see them clustered together and you can back up and nobody's paying attention to you and you volley that off in the right spot, or if somebody's coming around a corner and they don't know it's you, then they come around the corner and 3 missiles hit them. Then you can follow up with 2 missiles and you Vulcan them. That's like 2 staggers right there. And then the Vulcans, by the time you run out,
Also
you're gonna
just
stagger
like
them
chunks
again.
of health, like oof.
Yeah, and then you downswing them if you get the Vulcan stagger, and then they're just laying there, and then at that point you missile them again. And if they're still alive, then they're either a raid or another GBO2. Yeah, like this thing, the amount of damage that I get, like, I think that's why. Actually, now I know why Chad likes the Zero Shiki now, and he did so well with it. It's pretty much an Alex without the Gatling arm gun. But we played a game, and he had top everything.
Tied to your Alex, holy shit.
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it. Like, that's interesting.
He had top everything because of the beam rifle, probably, and except for I had damage. And he was like, "Come on, man! I'm trying to show off the new suit." And I'm like, "I'm the MLRS, dude.
Well, you better do it. You better do it
I instantly win top damage just by existing in this suit. No big deal." Like, it is, you can chunk, especially if you hit
like you'd literally have to be bullied the entire time to not get that damage if you're being consistent.
Yeah, this thing's gross. But yeah, go get it right now. If you're a support player and you need a good 550 or 600 support, the 550 one can compete in 600 just fine. Like, this
if
thing,
you get the 601, then fucking forget about it.
Yeah, and then you have the other coolest suit in the game. That is like one of the top 5 of my favorite suits in the game, the Zoc.
The bullet.
You know, it is up there in my favorite list of Zaku Cannon, Dom Barrage, Zoc, and the GBO2s, both of them. But yeah,
there's nothing scarier than someone who plays a Zoc who's like actively trying to get into melee with people.
Oh my gosh, that
they're doing everything that they're doing for that damage, not just for the damage, but to initiate, just to give you the scoop.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
that backhand.
You can also reverse
in general.
If you see somebody approaching you from behind, you just reverse, and now you're looking backwards. Also, if they try to melee you, unless they try to knock you down, you can't get staggered while reversing.
They can't knock you down either.
Oh wait, they can't knock you down?
You're completely immune to
it's a separate animation.
That's turned to 180.
Gosh, I didn't realize you couldn't actually knock somebody down with that.
I think you still take the damage. You just don't get.
Oh yeah, it hurts. Yeah. But yeah, you can't get staggered.
But then you can just be like
cracking while you're doing it, but like you're good.
Yeah, then you just punch them on the head and watch them fall over on the ground, and then you walk away. And by walk away, I mean hover very slowly away. That laser is intimidating. Just hearing it go off makes most people be like, "Huh,
where is it?"
There's a reason why I used that laser effect yesterday in the tabletop campaign. So I literally got on the game and recorded that sound effect just to have it in the campaign. So yeah, it's intimidating. The charge beam, I think, is a trap, by the way, for the Zoc. A lot of people I see try to charge it up, and you do a decent bit of damage, and you get the stun, but you could just be like pew, 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 like for days. Like, its heat rate is almost nothing, and you can chunk every shot, rather than a decent chunk, but you got like 90% heat rate or whatever. You get like one more shot after that. That's it.
Could you imagine if it actually had like a further upgrade thing that actually reduced the cooling of its weapons?
Holy
or like
crap.
Reduce the heat rate?
That would be insane. That would be absurd.
It's like shooting that thing like a fucking beam spray gun.
That would be cool.
But yeah, Zoc is definitely intimidating. I think it's top tier. What do you guys think on the Zoc?
It's pretty hype.
It's a good snack when you're playing a raid.
Don't be surprised if you get clapped in it anyway, just because it's a little tough once you don't have people following your rhythm. And those one-on-one melee fests are funny, You should probably just focus on that output and get that big old special beam cannon out there and all that.
Yeah, you just have to make use of your stagger resist properly. One big note, even though you won't see it too often, the Zoc does have anti-jamming and anti-stealth. So as long as you're paying attention to your radar, you shouldn't have to worry too much about getting snuck up on. Except for like the Desert Gelgu, I think is the only one you really have to worry about. Like if someone's running off an Akai and you're like mix up or something.
You'll see them waddle up towards you.
Yeah.
See, I think it has like, I know somebody was like, well, this is slow and it's big, like the Zommel. What do you think about the Zoc compared to the Zommel? And my answer though is the Zoc has some tools in its kit that, specifically one thing is its melee just knocks something down. But you have some extra tools that you can deal with people. You have really good range, and you have some crazy damage output. Being at 450, you have like the same damage output as the 500 Zommel. So it's like you can chunk, and you're intimidating, and you're pretty much a raid boss at that cost. So you have some of your diversion where people are going to come at you, and positioning is going to be key for this suit. I think that's really, in my opinion, the skill cap for this suit is positioning. If you don't position well, you're going to have a bad time. Right. You're going to get wrecked. You're going to get knocked down, and you're just going to die a lot. But if you position well and are in the right spot, you can draw fire to you. And again, this is going to turn some people off the suit when I say it like this, but with some teammate help, your team's just going to destroy the enemy team. And then you get those super juicy phonon maser. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it. Phonon maser beams.
Like special beam cannon.
Special beam cannon. Yeah, there's
one on your head.
You fire your special beam cannon and get like 3 suits caught in it, and just watch as your numbers just keep ticking up, and you've dealt like 10k damage to 3 different generals at once. Really good.
It's 2 generals. The other one's your teammate.
No, at that point it's 3 generals and 2 of your teammates, or 4 of your teammates. And they're all knee staggered.
Support that can follow up by shooting through your teammate. They did the hard job of knocking him down. You do the really hard job of taking the shame of shooting him in the back to deal out some real damage.
And see, that's the other thing. This is a knee stagger, so if you catch 2 enemies that are fighting your teammates, then your teammates just are like, "Whoa, we're gonna kill you now." And that's the other thing. This thing can set up kills so easily. Not even funny. So yeah, high fives for the Zoc. Start intensifying.
Ultimately, like, I would probably say overall though, the suit itself can be kind of fun to play, and when you get the positioning down, it's pretty neat. It's just be ready to die a lot. Any raid that knows what they're doing is just going to eat you alive. There's not good, like, especially if you don't get any help. Especially if they like have any semblance of an idea of what they're doing. Like if the Bolinoak looks at you, you're done. Like he's gonna missile you, he's gonna missile spam you, and you're just gonna get melted. It's probably like 100-0. Like you're literally gonna get deleted off the entire map. So it really just kind of depends on
especially since Bolinoak players are very thirsty to do much of anything. So once they get that opportunity,
for real.
Oh yeah.
It's like, an easy kill.
I can actually
probably won't miss you.
No, for real. To use Emblem as an example here from last night, these tanks are so tasty. Yeah, whoa! Like, man, I've never heard you be so excited to be in the Bolinoak. Like, I think that's the most excited I've heard you to play a raid in a long time, man. You're like,
dude, it's awesome. Amazing. I hate shields. Screw damn LRS, man. Like, you see so many of them.
For real though,
I want to get in on somebody that doesn't absorb damage. Yeah, and there were 2 of them, and I wasn't getting like singled out that match too. It was great.
You just
I'm not saying
missiled
it's
me.
like a thing that happens in those matches, but just like playing in raided or whatever, it's just like raid, and everybody in the map, including my teammates, proceed to
there's a
do
raid. Shoot
everything
him.
they
Oh,
can.
whoops. He's on my team. My bad. I'm sorry. I just saw raid. It's reflex.
He shouldn't get the kill. This for me.
Yep.
But yeah,
all the generals think red should be dead. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say last point for me is if you have to make a choice between the two, MLRS, and if you can't get it, pick up the Zoc. But MLRS is insane tier. Zoc is definitely up there. I guess the way I scored him, kind of like if you want to score him on a scale, MLRS 10 out of 10, Zoc like 7 or 8. Something like that.
I'd say most of that comes from fun though. Like, yeah, I would say like realistically, if you want to like if you want less of like cool suit to play analysis and more of like sweaty meta analysis, don't get the Zoc. I hate to be the one that says it after I rolled so hard for it. It is kind of fun to goof around. I even haven't played it in a while. Like I mean,
I've had some really good games in
the Zoc.
Yeah,
but I mean,
and I don't even have that many parts on my JP account.
So. No, I mean I feel you, but like parts and everything else aside, like even with a good setup, I think in the late game, like a Zoc is just too free. Maybe because like you said, it requires some support, but like I think rating it a 7, even a 7 or whatever out of 10, like you were saying, is too generous personally. I would probably say like at best it's a 5, if that.
Yeah, I mean the higher you get, the more important self-sufficiency is. So like this can do it in 1v1. Anything else where things are actually looking at you? No.
Because like realistically, even though the melee attacks knock down, if you're in a situation where you're contesting melee priorities, you're going to lose every time.
Oh yeah.
Totally not about to run the 450 Zoc for the first time just to see what happens though.
And like, I'm not saying it's not fun. And again, it just like we were saying earlier, it could be one of those cases where like you're really good at the game or whatever, and the suit, you could perform in a suit, and that's fine. But I would say like as an overall evaluation, it's probably not the best suit in the game by any means.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
That's why I would say I don't know. I think it's still top tier personally, but again, I sometimes pick suits that some people think are not top tier and do
so
well.
I mean that just means you're good at the suit. It sucks, but you're good at it.
So there's nothing wrong with that. I disagree. I don't think it's top tier whatsoever. Just because it's a bit too easy to bully with raids.
I'm just saying, like, if you go out there and you don't get the same results, like, there are some suits that are just easier to do that kind of shit. And this is not one of them.
Fair enough. I'll agree with that. But yeah, back to the other point though. So in that case, if you have to choose, definitely the MLRS, and then if you want some more fun factor, then the Zoc. I'll hop on that bandwagon. Let's go. So, but yeah, let's take a shot. Any other thoughts?
Nope. Happy buying.
Now, the G3 level 3 is in the DP store.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna double check real quick. Because we talked about this last time on the podcast. And we were talking about raids being at higher cost and not being able to buy them. Well, now we have a 550 raid actually in the game that you can buy. Cool.
I can't bend over enough on the hill.
Literally, I think it's literally the first buyable 550 in the game.
I'm too fat, you guys. Help.
Not including tickets, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not including tickets. Pretty much, if you're a straight free-to-play player that you want to guarantee a suit. I'm sorry. That is on ground, I should say. Oops.
Because the full armor and stuff, right?
Full armor Thunderbolt and the Psycho Zaku you can buy at 550. But that's literally it. Holy crap, dude.
And I mean, the G3 got buffed again with the recent changes.
Yeah, and now it's actually a pretty good suit. I used to I was mentioning to someone, I'm like, I don't fear the G3. Well, I mean, I've said it on here even. I never feared the G3, and then after the changes, I'm like, okay, well, I gotta respect that thing now. Okay, cool. It's a threat. I sometimes forget about it, and then it starts actually shooting me and then hitting me, and I'm like, oh no, that's right, you got buffed. Leave me
Oh
alone.
no, it does damage. Shit.
When did this happen?
Well, I'm not even referring to the stuff that made the suit playable, like more playable again.
It's
I'm
just
just
more
referring
flexible.
to the. Well, I'm just referring to the Hangar adjustments that we're going to talk about later.
Oh.
Just to touch on this one, if I'm remembering right, the G3 is getting the general damage reduction skill
Hell yeah.
as a
Oh,
part of
yeah.
its stuff. So
That's a big
it's
deal.
even better in that regard.
You know, there are some people that had that shit on like right now already.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
Shoot, how did they get the
similar to-
toolboxes?
Just did all
Well,
the
we're
limiteds,
about
like,
to.
let's go.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can go ahead and.
Are those missions up? I haven't done any.
Yeah,
of them
those
yet.
missions are up, so you can get them about
Okay, I
10
meant
to
to
20
check.
games.
I forgot.
So yeah, let's go ahead and. So yeah, now that I've looked at that, cool. So then they talked about bug fixes and stuff. I didn't really see anything too crazy. I don't know if you guys have looked through those, but I mean, cool stuff, I guess. Zommel was
Good
too
that they're
big.
still doing it.
Zommel was too big to get through certain areas. That's kind of
So
funny.
they just let it clip through.
Yeah, pretty much. Network related stuff, actually, I'm kind of curious about this. Cases where withdrawal penalty may not increase when a disconnection is intentionally done. Ooh. Uh-oh. In a custom match story preparation room, if the player left the room at a specific time, it could become impossible to proceed. You brick a room. That's weird. After a custom
Really?
battle was over, the returning to the sortie preparation room, the countdown in the room was displayed as 0. Rip.
The related adjustments are pretty interesting. Apparently, the Zoc was having a problem where the main gun, the 4-chest particle cannon, wasn't restoring while you were on the photon maser.
Oh, that's
or I
what
guess
that
while you
meant.
were shooting it.
Oh, that's what that meant. Okay, so I read that one actually when I was looking at these before, and I didn't. I was like, oh, cool, that's cool, I guess. But okay, that's a big deal actually. Oof.
Cameron Silas behaved unnaturally when a pilot touched the backpack part of the DJ.
Just like flipping out.
Yeah, the pilot just starts flying everywhere. Like, whoa, to space.
Help!
Sorry, screen of DJ, the unit color scheme became unnatural. Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the. There is a modification shop. So let's talk about that. There's a modification shop that you need these new things called modification kits to do anything with, and we'll go over how many is in each and what it does. But essentially, there are some missions up right now. Go do those missions. Like I said, it should take roughly 10 to 20 games just because one of them is to sortie 10 times to get all of that done. But yeah, go get those because it gives you 450 of each box. And you need, for the level 5 enhancement upgrade, you need 150 of the corresponding box. As you can tell, the gold is for 3-star, silver 2-star, and then 1-star. So you get essentially 1 suit worth of upgrades from this event.
Here, 1 second, Magnum. I think you're putting the cart before the horse. Why don't you explain what the modification is before you go into how like the kits and stuff work?
Okay, so the modifications, we'll go ahead and go over to that. So the modifications, it might actually be easier just to pull it up in game than what they've got here on this. Oh, well, we'll just use this. So when you go into, so you go to the hangar, and instead of going to enhancement, there's a new thing called modification. You bring it up, and then you go to whatever suit you select, and then this menu will come up. It increases the cap of the amount of enhancements you get, and will unlock a level 5 and a level 6 enhancement that you can then get on said suit. So, for instance, one of the ones that Emblem already mentioned for the enhancement would be you take less damage from general suits. So there are some cool ones. There are some just straight up awesome amount of stats, and then there are some, what I would argue, completely useless ones. So, and then what it uses here is DP and whatever kit. Now, the thing is, it also says that they will use recycled tickets, but I haven't seen one that would cost recycled tickets yet. So,
Yeah, that's interesting.
but it is here on the thing. It says it'll cost, in addition to DP and recycled tickets, a modification kit that is compatible with the rarity of the mobile suit is required.
It could be a situation where once you get past upgrade level 5, getting 6 might start using recycle tickets or something.
Well, we already did the for science thing earlier to check, and
you already got past level 5 on one. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so we went ahead and showed it to level 6.
Maybe it's something to do with rarity then. Was that on what rarity was the suit?
I mean, I could even just check it right now. That was a 2-star, so I can just run to a 3-star because I can just yeet out. I don't have to spend anything. So my biggest thing though with this is how many are we going to get per month at a reasonable rate, right? And then secondly, okay, there we go. And then how many are we going to get? My game's doing funky things.
Oh no, not you too. Could
yeah,
it be?
So they said. Oh no.
New hard drive.
They said that it should
just in time for the PS5, guys. Maybe you should just buy that instead.
Yeah, don't download a new update. It corrupts your PlayStation, so you buy a new one.
Could you imagine if we get a news line like that later? Like, some malicious content.
Tinfoil hats on.
Tinfoil hats go. But yeah, here we go. So I'll go to the MLRS, even though it's higher tier is bleh for stuff, because it gets, by the way, enhanced shield structure level 5, which is 1,200 health.
That's a lot of health.
Yeah, but that's 10% increased health essentially. That's not even 10%, but yeah, close enough for this suit. So
that's the MLRS, right?
Yeah, that's the MLRS, 10% shield health. So not really that crazy.
It's like a suit's worth of health.
Yeah, so I mean, if your shield's dying, there's not going to be much of a difference there, really. And it gains increased security level 1, which makes it harder to capture the suit. So for that one, it better work like this. Otherwise, it is in such a very situational spot that it's, in my opinion, completely useless. So I get out to capture the point. You shoot me. And before you can capture it, I can spawn back in and take my suit back. If I can't do that, then the only reason why that would work is if I'm at a bomb, you kill me while I'm planting, you defuse, and then you can't capture the suit, which I feel is the only situation that that's going to apply. And that's pretty rip, just saying.
Yep.
So that one feels like it's not enough, but we'll see when somebody finally actually gets to test that out. Somebody has that, let me know. We'll start at a point. I'll then try to steal your suit, and we'll see what happens. But so for this, I'm going to go ahead and modify it once. I know it's not on the thing, but we'll just go through the motions. Okay, so there we go. 160,000 DP, by the way, plus. Oh. Okay, no, right, that's right. I've only got the one thing. I haven't got the. But anyway, then, yeah, it's 300. So yeah, in order to get both upgrades, it's 450 of the corresponding box, and a lot of DP, because getting the level 6 enhancement will cost 200,000 DP. And here's my other problem with that. This is just to unlock, while I'm thinking about it, close application before I accidentally back out and waste those. So that's just to unlock these. And
actually get to it.
Then you have to actually put that in the enhancement. So if you have no enhancement on the MLRS, for instance, and you want that final 6th enhancement, you have to spend, and if you're unlucky and never got a great success, and you didn't spend any tickets, it would take 200, it's got 7,950, so that would take 238 days just to get it done. Sorry, 40 days. 240 days just to get that done.
The best.
Even if you half that, 120 days. That's a big oof.
And the weird thing
is a big oof.
Maybe this is getting a little bit ahead, but like, I don't think we've really had a way to upgrade how much you get per, unless we find out at some point that the platinum hanger slot actually gives you more per regular success. That's just
because the other ones give you slightly higher chance to get like better success, right?
But like your baseline is still just the 100. Yeah, so
that would be pretty interesting.
Like, I think that should have been part of the overhaul in general. Like, hey, we have this new tier of stuff, right? If you want to try to hurry up and get through all this other shit, then go ahead. But the other thing about this other mode now with the mods is that technically you could spend all that shit to get the ones you don't have ahead of the hanger. So suits that you don't have 100%ed yet, you can actually use all that currency for that too. And I think that's why they haven't touched that part.
So here's another thing. So I finally did the math, and instead of trying to do it live, I went ahead and used the calculator.
Oh yeah, like just sat down and did it.
So your enhancement tickets, right? Say I wanted to enhance the MLRS from start to finish, and say I got lucky and got a decent amount of grade successes, like an actual probably more than average amount of grade successes. It would take 742 tickets with a decent bit of grade successes. And that's gold tickets.
Seems good. Hang her up, boys.
I'm just looking at your face and just like, got him. Look at that face.
One thing I did want to point out though, like MLRS aside, the other suits, like not all of them have bad skills, and all of these skills, unlike most of the other ones that are like level 1 or 2, most of these skills have like, level 3 or level 4.
Some are like even 5 in some instances. Yeah, like I don't think we've even seen that in any of these yet. So
like this is the opposite of what the Hangar originally was intended to do, which was give little like slight edge buffs.
Yeah, like these are some big deal stats.
Yeah, there are some suits where I would have liked to have seen maybe I don't think they did. I'll let you guys saw one. I saw if you'd like doubled up on the thruster recovery rate skill, but I'd have liked to have seen an extra addition of the part expansion slot skill. Maybe on the suit or something.
I'm surprised. What I would think too.
What I would
has anyone seen one yet?
I haven't
either. But like what I kind of like, one of the examples they show here is the GM Cannon 2. It gets the security thing, so it's harder to capture, and it gets, now this one is a situational thing, and it technically is something cool to have, but it's not going to, make or break the game for you, is it has the artillery reduced damage. So when support fire comes in, it's 30% reduced damage, meaning if your shield gets blown up, you're probably taking 5 artillery shots just to die, or 6, something like that. So that's kind of cool. That means you probably could stand in artillery and not care. But I don't know. That feels more like a cool utility type skill. And if all of these were cool utility stuff that was just cool, interesting things, sure. But when they're like, some of these suits have hard stats, my 2 that I specifically looked at recently, and again, I haven't went through all those, and I'll actually bring it up here in a minute, and I'll just start going through suits and kind of showing off some of these. And if I have one and you guys want to mention it, I'll bring it up. But the GPO1FB and the Xeon both have just straight stat increases like what you're talking about. Like they're getting 5% damage. Both of them get 5% damage to their range modifier. And it's like, those suits don't need that. I'm just saying. They're already like the top tier suits for that cost in space.
It does
now
feel
they're
like
just
they
getting-
already have like incentivized certain suits for these. Like, oh, they want you to spend on these.
I'm surprised the
to
Mark
try to get
II,
there.
like, I'm surprised the MLRS and the Mark II don't have actually good things. The Mark II has like the security and the it's also got security and artillery, and that's it.
Interesting.
Yeah, like so it got.
I think the Mark II is too controversial though.
Yeah,
I mean,
they didn't
I think
want to
if
touch
they,
it again. And
yeah.
get
Yeah,
yelled
maybe
at.
that's what. Yeah,
especially after they had to nerf it. Like if they
Barely.
did that, I think people would have been like extra upset.
Like
Yeah.
how little they nerfed it too almost makes it seem like they did it begrudgingly on
Oh,
top
yeah.
of just like being afraid of the controversy.
for real. So, but yeah, my first problem here, and we can actually get into the skills and stuff here in a minute, but I just kind of wanted to mention that this is a whole system just to unlock these. You don't actually get any points toward getting closer to the
Mhm.
enhancement. You just unlock the enhancement slot. It takes all that resource just to do that. So,
Even if you get like some sort of like passive or like less significant perk for unlocking it, that would have been nice just to tide you over until you actually got the stat itself.
yeah, pretty much. So, like, here's another thing that's kind of interesting.
Oh my God,
What they
get
say
away.
here is the modification kit will be available from July 2020 as a daily login bonus and monthly mission rewards. So, if we can get enough from actual daily login, and I'm not talking about the premium daily, which we'll get into here in a second. I'm talking about actual daily login. If we can get stuff like that, and we'll get monthly mission ones as well. Okay, that's pretty cool. I can kind of deal if we're getting enough of them. But again, each suit takes 450 to fully upgrade.
Right.
So if we're not getting enough, so I'll probably rant about it again toward the end
What
of
was
next
the
month.
word that they used for the limited missions? Is like sporadic or like intermittent, something like that. But it made it sound like they weren't going to be happening like every week or even every month.
Oh, I thought the limited missions were just this one-time thing right now.
Yeah. Well, I think they were saying is that they are going to include it in there every once in a while.
Here, let me go back to this. Special mission
Because
will be
we only
issued for a
get
limited time.
limited missions for like event stuff. Typically.
Unlike daily tasks, you don't have to complete them all in one day.
Breaking news. Hold on. Maxi Boost on. Apparently, if you pre-ordered, you can play tonight.
Oh,
Interesting.
Holy shit! So I want to test that later if you got it pre-ordered, because that's interesting.
You're talking about for the network not network test, but the
Yeah,
open
because
test
I
thing.
know the pre-orders could play extra, but I figured that would just extend the day forward like we did for the last one.
Maybe it moved it up in the other direction.
Interesting.
Where did you see
One other little side?
Where did you see that about the kits?
I think it was in the initial newsletter about it.
Oh,
I don't think it was in the actual like update.
And then that's also the problem with the newsletter is that it's also Google translated.
Yeah, we never got it. Sucks.
Just while Maxi Boost was brought up, the Maxi Boost Navigator is a pre-order bonus that you can get in Battle Operation if you get the game as well. It's already been confirmed for West. Also.
Interesting. Well, that's good. At least it's official for this OC that you probably don't know from that one extreme game we never actually got the longest time ago.
So,
but I will say, like, oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but I will say, at least it's another female nav. If you're just here for the waifus.
Yeah, Yeah, you're right. Because after Carry, they added 2 dudes. So
Yeah, some gaggle of dudes. OC dudes too. On top of that.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, so pretty much as far as the modification stuff goes, that's my first problem, right? Is that you're just unlocking it with all of this DP, and this is a lot of DP for higher cost suits. That's or for sorry, 3-star suits. That's 300 and well around 300,000 per 3-star suit. Roughly around 250 for 2-star and around 200,000 for 1-star suits. That's a lot of DP. Like
That's
a lot of damage. Your DP wallet.
Tons of damage.
Well, I will say though, like in regards to that, I feel you. But like, isn't the whole point of this to enhance the suits that you enjoy playing? Like, this definitely isn't a thing where you're supposed to have every mobile suit modified. Like, that's definitely not the purpose.
Yeah.
But again, my back to my previous point though, is this is just unlocking the ability to then enhance the said suit. That's kind of my biggest issue.
Yeah, I don't like that they added another currency either. Like, I'm right there with you. I think it should have just been, because I was actually going to say like them adding the toolkits kind of is worrisome to me, because like now we have tokens, tickets, DP, garage tick or recycle or garage tickets or hangar tickets, and now we have toolkits.
Yeah.
Like, and recycle tickets.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that too. So like, unless I miss anything, we have 5 different currencies in the game, and like, I don't know, maybe I haven't played enough stuff. It's like, you know, maybe someone's watching like, oh, my game has 12 or whatever. But
I mean, even if you look at Saga, like the stuff for both, even in that case, it's all just for summons. And then you're talking about different materials for messing with your equipment. And those at different tiers and stuff too. And then I guess that's the difference, right? Like, these aren't separate. In that case, they're not separate currencies for different things. They're just different tiers of the same currencies.
Yeah, I guess if you look at it as an upgrade material, because I don't really consider those currencies, but I see what you're saying. Like, in my mind, I just never really like looked at it as a currency, but I mean, in the same case, you could say it is. I mean, so I feel you there.
This game, and first of all, they're leaning really hard on one currency, which is DP, to actually like make the rest of this flow without really giving us a means of consistently earning that, because even the bonuses, as we get into later on with the emblem, really don't touch on that much. They touch on the new currency, but they don't touch on DP, and you don't get that from spitting or anything like that either. So there's only a few ways that you can actually earn that. And sure, the new emblem will make you earn that a little bit faster, but I don't know if that rate's going to be enough. Not to mention how fast you'll have to get that during a month in order to actually reap the rewards, not only of that extra boost, but of the other stuff in terms
supply
of
tokens, lol.
Yeah. Well, here, let's go ahead and go into the the metal then, and then we'll come back and talk about some of the actual enhancements, and then we'll continue from there.
I will say, like, as an opening point for the metal itself, this feels like a really weird way to try to get you to subscribe every month, but just with extra steps.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely pushing token sales.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I mean, it even says premium login bonus. Like, you're paying for this. Like, it just straight up, like, it is titled as you're paying for this if you want this. And I mean, literally, you have to if you're going to get the first suit.
I guess
and maybe even the second.
A couple examples that I have is that, like, they have premium stuff and they legitimately call it premium for like World of Tanks or like War Thunder. But even more recently, Fire Emblem Heroes got their own subscription based thing. And you were getting like bonus orbs and all these other things and like different units or like skins for certain units and all this other shit. And that got a lot of controversy for a hot minute. Of course, eventually that went away and people just stopped talking about it and kept playing the game if they were going to stick with it. But I guess what I want to know is if they would have went that route instead of having all these weird extra steps to pretty much do the same thing, would you have been more inclined to subscribe to that?
I mean, I normally don't anyway, but I didn't even really play that one.
I know what you're saying, Gustav. Like when I first saw it, the idea of it being like a subscription service was the first thing that crossed my mind. So I feel you there. I would probably say I would have just because like if it was something I could straight up buy, like would I buy the tokens for it? Probably not. But if they like package it as like a, I don't know, 10.99 or whatever, I don't know how much it costs in Fire Emblem, but like services you can do, and I'm able to play the game, and like I'm in a situation where I can't, my PlayStation is a little bit shaky, and I could play the game normally, I probably would have gotten it, just so I could get the bonuses and stuff. Kind of like how I would like to see. I wonder if they'll change the bonuses, like because the suits themselves, because even the suits they're putting on there are older suits, as well.
The interesting thing is that the one that they're obviously trying to make people impulse buy with, the 04 is like it's cool and it's definitely pretty rare at this point, but it's also a space only support suit.
Yeah.
That already is being contested not only just by the MLRS, and I know some people are like, "Oh, MLRS in space," but also the Super Gundam's like the same ship, but just with an extra rifle. Like,
yeah.
So it already has contenders. It's not uncontested for its spot.
Yeah, they shouldn't be putting up older suits. Like I think the only one that they needed to put in, well, I don't think it needs to be the new one because then they're kind of going against their own business model. But like the Mark II, I think would have been okay. I don't know. The Power Cavalry's not bad.
And I guess in terms of this, and you think about, it's funny because Maniac is in here. He's like, no, and I'm the whaler. But we think about like we know several stories. Someone on here included who's spent several hundred, and think about like how rough those token bonus. Like if those token bonuses actually went a long way towards getting you certain things. And I guess that's the other thing is that regardless of if you're subscribed or not, the gacha can still be trashed. Like there's no indication in any of those other games that you may actually get higher rates. Because I think people would be particularly pissed. If it's under the hood and people reveal it, then that's one thing. But they're not going to outright tell you like, oh yeah, you're just buying that extra like percentage. And even if there was, that's just an extra percentage.
Well, I think with the way they have stuff like that set up now, they would be breaking the law if they didn't reveal that information though, right?
Yeah.
So
they have to.
Doesn't mean they not from lack of trying.
No, you're right, Philia.
I don't put that past anybody in particular. So like I just kind of hope that we don't cross. I don't mind if we cross that line. I just hope that we don't catch controversy with this game.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to though. Bamco doesn't advertise their game at all. Maybe we need any kind of word out that we can get.
You know,
that is an interesting thing, and I was thinking that earlier. Like any press is good press for a game that has barely any visibility. So if people are mad enough, and if they feel like they're trying to save the game in the process, then maybe we'll actually get a bigger player base.
Okay, guys, I need to make a new video. Hang on, I need to leave and go start making a controversy video about this.
All right, just make a hat out of tinfoil in your kitchen real quick and get in there.
Yeah, and then
that's gonna be your warning sign that it's just a. Oh my god!
And, hopefully we can get like.
I mean, that's the thing about my point though, is that a lot of this is just hypothetical. It just feels weird that they're leaning so hard towards it, but it's obvious that they're afraid to commit to like that kind of system.
Yeah,
even though they are obvious, it's obvious that they're thinking about ways, and it's interesting because they had it in the newsletter. It's like, I want this game to be bigger. You know, it said that at the end. I was like, well, how do you do that? You're gonna have to actually get some more fundage behind this thing. So it's obvious that they're finding more ways to try to expand.
And to tell their dad to fricking let them come out of the closet every now and then.
Daddy Bamco, let me out.
Yeah, like can you please take Naruto and Sword Art Online off to Twitter for like, you know, a minute and put up my video game
for like 2 fucking seconds on Bamco US, please? We exist. You know what? And this is gonna be the nail in the coffin, and I'm hoping it does and doesn't happen. If Maxi Boost On actually gets on there, because it leans more towards the fighting game like situation, and it can actually get people on there for that, and they don't turn around and do anything for GBO2, then that's how you know that this is just going to be the redheaded stepchild from now on, like officially.
I'm pretty much gonna just be like,
Yep.
Now, I will say though, Battle Operation did have sponsored content on YouTube. There were people on YouTube that played the game and made videos of it because they were approached. So I mean, it's not like there's nothing, but they do some crazy stuff. Like I've had a chance to like check, but like they released some new videos, which is where I heard about the navigator for Maxi Boost On and GBO2 in the West. But that video that Bamco put out from the last time we checked wasn't on their Twitter.
Yep.
And the video apparently didn't even have a link to click that you can use to pre-order Maxi Boost.
Yeah, well, that's also
on the video.
like they're like
because of the delay, remember?
But still,
which is another shortcoming on their part because that shit wasn't even ready for the open access, so they had to do that whole apology thing on the weekend, and then even that didn't get any press. So people were having to find out where to actually get the download link because it wasn't showing up in the store natively. You actually had to do it from the page and then have it linked to your account so that you could actually do the download. So you're still jumping through all these weird hoops, even though technically it's official.
It's just kind of weird that they aren't even taking steps that, unless I just don't understand how things work, don't cost them anything.
Yeah, right? Like,
this is just standard shit.
Yeah.
It's the same way that they, like, the English client for this is so bare bones. Literally, it's just like, hey, you can actually just download this on the store and buy things for us now.
I mean, sometimes maybe somebody just hasn't told them, but like, I mean, there should be some things that's obvious, but I mean, just like.
It almost makes me wonder there's a disconnect.
I don't even feel like they just don't know how to run a company because it's obvious that they know how to run other IPs. They do it all the fucking time.
So, like,
do you think it could be a situation similar with Sega?
Wait, what?
Like, well, you know, like Sega, the reason why it had so much trouble and supposedly inevitably folded was because Sega of America and Sega Japan pretty much could not like get on the same page.
Oh,
for anything.
Like, I wonder if there's a possibility that it's something like that going on.
Could be it.
I feel like in the age of the internet, though, that means that they're willfully not seeing eye to eye at that point, though. Like, it's not even communication. It's just like they just don't give a fuck. Or like they have some hill to die on in terms of philosophy, and they just don't want to like make amends and actually get this shit out.
But yeah, if I'm really curious to see what happens with Beyond though. Like, that'll be an interesting thing to see, and that is July 30th when that happens. So
the funny thing is that for us, it would actually be our first time seeing all that salt from the perspective of like this game. But I feel like Versus has gotten to shaft a lot more often. The fact that they're literally getting a 4-year-old game that they've lauded and wanted finally now officially.
Yeah.
In any kind of like home capacity, just because their arcade side just refused to die, and that's going to be another interesting thing, even with the whole COVID situation. Like before, it was just them pushing it because like, oh, finally, like dust is settled, we have Extreme 2 and all this other shit going on. Like, might as well throw it out there. But now it might be something they have to do out of necessity with other games too.
Oh, that's actually kind of an interesting thing too. The IP rights too is another thing that happens.
Yeah, because I know that's why like a lot of SRW and just even G generations, it's amazing that they were able to do that with cross rays.
But kind of more back to the actual suits that we're getting though with this.
I mean, I guess the bigger thing for that is get your fucking brand together. Like, get your actual IP straightened out.
Well,
like,
I mean, in that regard, though, is that a problem anymore? Because like, I feel like the main issues were like Sunrise owns some, right? Bandai owns some, and then there's like a third-party magazine or something like that. But like, didn't Bamco, to my knowledge, purchase like buyout Sunrise or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
didn't that happen?
Like,
isn't Sunrise
like,
no more?
Like, because now they have Bandai Films, or what is it called? Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. There was some kind of buyout
like,
there where they're all pretty much now the same thing, or they should be.
Like, unless I'm misunderstood, like, unless there's something else that I don't know about, like, how, like, should I even be a problem anymore if IPs? Like, I could see that beforehand, but now I don't see what the issue would be.
Is that Sunrise is a subsidiary of Bandai now. I was gonna say, considering that he follows all this stuff with Robotech, I figured he would know. But yeah, they're a subsidiary now.
Wait, who follows what with Robotech? Sorry.
The whole Golden whatever Maniac.
Oh, Maniac. Yeah.
Well, following what's going on with Robotech is just like being a masochist.
I'm just saying, like,
never gonna get
by
better.
comparison, the
Right,
Gundam's
for
pretty
real.
small. So, like, yeah, Sunrise is now a subsidiary of Bandai.
It's like keeping up with sadness.
Oh my
It's like,
God.
oh, Harmony Gold's dropping the ball again.
It's like keeping up with modern day comics. Huh?
Apparently, what Dominant's saying is that the where they pulled out of the U.S. market, like now coming back, yeah, it's kind of they're having some issues with the, I mean, and they're only coming back due to partnerships. So,
oof, that sets an interesting tone then.
But
like, part of me is kind of like, well, good, but at the same time, it's just like, well, it should be at least a little more enthusiastic about it. Like, fuck.
Yeah, right.
There's probably a lot of underlying dramatics that led to it, though, so I can only imagine.
But to kind of bring it back more to a GBO topic, hopefully, we end up getting something good come out of Versus coming out, like you were saying, and if we can get some light shown on this game, it'd be kind of cool.
For sure.
Also, with that said, though, too, another thing with this premium platinum medal and the premium login bonuses, in order to get that first suit and the 3 suits, the GPO4 level 1, then the second third of the month is the Pale Rider Cavalry level 1, and then the last third of the month is the MLRS level 1. So the funny thing is they said maybe they decided these before they put the MLRS in the ticket shop, but it says not yet exchangeable for recycle tickets and DP. So they already goofed with the MLRS.
They already broke that rule.
But you know, maybe some communication
it's a higher
wasn't there.
level. Could you imagine if we find out it's actually just like, oh no, that was a typo. It's like the level 2 or some shit.
Oh my. But so the 04, we kind of talked about it, but the thing is, if they put something there in that first one that is like super juicy, like, you know, you said the Mark II, but like if they did put the Mark II there where the 04 is, I mean, that is like super levels of pay to win creeping in here. Just saying, like, if they put like a literal top tier meta suit in there, then it's like, okay, spend $50 here at the first like 10 days. And that's the question. Like, I haven't really done the math on how much you would have to spend, and because we don't know when you get that platinum medal. So here's some speculation.
When everyone has it, so they all become the GM command of that cost.
Yeah. So what? How many missions do you think it'll take to get the platinum medal? Currently, it's what, 30 for the gold, and so the question is it going to be?
Were the other ones incremental? Like, were they in just like increments of 10, or?
I do not know how much you would need for those. So if it is like, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40 like that, I think one of them's actually like 12, I think. In bronze, like 12 or something weird like that. So if Emblem, I don't know if you're looking that up, or if someone can find that real quick, or if chat can find that, let us know. But my point is, if it's going to be after the golden enhancement tickets, then I'm going to guess like 46. And at that point, you've got to get all the recycle tickets and all the tokens, and then maybe the monthly suits in there, and then you got to play at least enough to get the DP you need, and some rival wins. So you'd have to play pretty much, if you want it day one of each month, you'd have to play probably a good 12 hours ish to get that, depending on how fast you can get some games going. I'd say probably 8 to 12 hours would be my guess, and probably even more for more of an average player.
Yeah, that's assuming you're doing like amazing on every run.
And then you've got to have 200 tokens. So
that's assuming that you get a deep wallet, or you get all gold crates on your things or whatever.
I mean that's the other thing too. So assuming you've got your previous month 9 tokens, right? So there's 9 off, right? So we'll take that, and the 3 for the day. And let's just say your clan was really fast at completing the stuff or whatever. I mean, obviously, depending on when the month falls, that's another thing. But let's just say best case scenario here, and somehow your clan just nailed it, and you've got all the tokens. So that's 15 and 15 on day 1. I don't know if let's say it falls on a day when the daily bonus would give you 1 as well. So 16 tokens, they're gone. That's still 184 tokens that you'd have to buy if you want this day 1.
Have fun per dollar.
Oh, that's so it's 14, 20, and then 30 for the medals, by the way. So if they're going to go 20, 30, and then 40, that's actually better than the 46 I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be 6 less. So then you wouldn't have to buy, 200 tokens. But that's still at least probably 100 tokens, because I think it goes down by increments of 15.
Mm-hmm.
So still buying 100 tokens even. So this is even higher estimates than what I was even just guessing.
That's just straight money.
Yeah, holy crap, dude. Like $100 every month if you want to get that first suit day 1, that is. Even then, if you want to get that first suit, you're probably talking $50 to $100. Yeah, I got.
Let you actually just get that suit within that time period anyway.
So here's the thing, though, too. Like during the anniversary event, so if it starts like the last week of July and then on into August, then you're probably going to get that actually pretty quick. You might even get the first suit. You're definitely probably going to get the second suit if they do the normal giveaways and stuff that they normally do. Like, yeah. But if they're not doing those giveaways and stuff, like in a random month, and they put an awesome suit, that's going to be, you're going to have to spend the 50 to 100 if you really want that suit. So yeah, I got some pretty big issue with that one. But back to the main suits, kind of what I wanted to point out. The Pale Rider Cavalry, in my opinion, is literally the best suit at 350. Like, I don't think
pretty
I've
much
lost
dominated that range.
Yeah, if I've had a game where all the generals were the Pale Rider Cavalry, I don't think I've lost a game where that's a thing. Where whether we have 3 and then 1 raid and I'm support, or we have 4 and no raid and I'm playing support, I don't think I've lost a game where if we have that many cavalries, it's just been a slaughter, because they end up with 2 dodge rolls that, so they're dodging everything, they're getting so many iframes, and it's just gross. I mean, we've gotten slaughtered by that comp too. I know when me, Emblem, and Chad were queuing, we've ran into that, and it was just like, yeah, they just had too many cavalries. Was pretty much our that's why we lost, kind of.
Not enough water, too many cavalries.
Yeah, right. So, and the MLRS, we've already talked about it. It is definitely top tier. But the good news, I think, is normally most months I can get to the last set of gold tickets almost by the end of the month. So
Yeah.
most people should be able to get whatever that last suit is just playing for free. And then when an event's going on, you're probably going to get the second and the third suit. And then when you have the medal itself, you get the suit on the first day, and it goes bronze, silver, gold, bronze, silver, gold for the modification kits. And they're 200 per day. So my question is when they give them out for the daily rewards, is this the daily rewards that they were talking about? If so, that's some BS. They were talking about it would be given away as daily logins. They better be adding them to our normal daily logins as like a bonus extra thing. And then after you have 7 days pass, every day 8 and onward is a token. So that's kind of cool. So once you get this, so like if it's 10 days, so like the first one's here 30th to the 10th, then you can actually end up with 2 or 3 extra tokens there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's.
I hope it's more than one though.
What, 1 token per day?
Yeah, I hope it's more than one.
It just shows a picture of a token, so I'm assuming.
I know.
I mean, there's no number next to
it's
it.
more than one because I mean,
yeah. I mean, it already feels kind of whack that like clan levels only give you one in the first place, and then it's like, oh, here's another little bit of a trickle. Like,
oh yeah, if somebody pays, if you're
like,
yeah.
I'm not even. I'm not even being greedy, but like you're already like paying a lot if you buy it to get in there, and then your premium like post bonus is a single token. It better be at least 3.
Yeah, 3 a day.
Enough.
Like, yeah, for real. Like that's what I'm saying. This is borderline type stuff. Like we're creeping into the pay to win enough to where this would be something that would make me leaning to quitting games like this.
Cue the next newsletter being like, well, you know, people are having a hard time with the system. Would it be easier if we actually get into a more subscription based system?
Oof. I don't know how I feel about that either. If we're getting into subscription base, then pretty much what Chad's been yelling this entire time, like 400 different times.
Your chat like,
we better have servers. If there's any kind of
that's
subscription stuff, they better be buying us
better
servers.
the quality of the actual game.
Yeah, like, I mean, if it gets to that point, and we're getting that kind of like pay to win type stuff, then I mean, you know, I love the game. I love the mechanics as far as this type of game. This is probably my favorite gameplay wise of any Gundam game I've played. And
but that's not hard to do.
Well, yeah, fair enough, touche. But yeah, I mean, this is stuff that makes me want to move on, and I'm kind of sad, but yeah. So, any other thoughts on the suits and stuff? I mean, it's kind of interesting. I do like that everybody should be able to get to the third suit. So as long as the third suit is something pretty good and it's not a piece of garbage suit, then I'm kind of happy with that. But what's going to really trigger me is if the first suit is like a Mark II or something. Like that, like anything that is like super high tier being the first suit is just going to, like, I'm going to be like, what? So.
I will say in that regard though, like the Mark II has been out for a while. So I mean, like I feel, I mean, I don't disagree with the stuff you're saying, but I feel like them putting that out there is just a way to give those people who are still chasing it, yeah, as a means to like
maybe
get
not
like,
the
I'm
Mark
not saying
II.
this. I'm not saying it's not predatory and it isn't pay to win.
If they put it as the first slot, it's predatory as fuck. Like,
yeah,
for sure, 100%. But can I have it, please?
Yeah, you know, because I'm sure there are players who
really
enjoy
during
the
the
game.
anniversary event where it's actually viable for somebody to get, you know, a lot of tickets and stuff and go ahead and get that gold medal on like day one. Because during some of these events, I have gotten the gold medal literally day 1 of the month. So, like I said, during the events, it could be cool.
It's not as bad, right?
Like, you know,
shit, the next one after the anniversary is gonna be what, Halloween, maybe? I forget if we have one in, like between those two.
I don't think there's anything for like August. We already had Golden Week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just Halloween. Shit. Better make it count this time for the anime.
Unless they do like a celebratory Western release thing too. Let's go.
Oh, like a Western anniversary?
Western anniversary. Let's go. Let's go. Calling it.
Double anniversary. That'd be cool.
Time to start yelling at them. Time to start yelling at them on Twitter so that they
won't
answer us.
Everybody, Twitter now. At them. Let's go. Let's get an army behind this. Oh my gosh, I'm posting that everywhere I can think of now. Western anniversary. Let's do it.
Were we still going to talk more about the skills? I know it's something you want to do after.
Sorry. I mean, we're kind of moving on at a like a very like
snail's pace. It's all good. It's all good.
No, not even the snail's pace. I'm just kind of like I'm mad. Grumble, salt, Magnum salt things.
No, I feel you, man.
But I will say one positive thing here. Let's talk about the positives of this medal, though. When you finally get it, and for people that are playing just as a strictly like free to play type person, you like in the last if it's more than 40, I still wouldn't have it right now. And this has been me actually doing a couple of 10 spins this time around, and so I have one monthly suit. So if it was 40, I still wouldn't have it. I still need 2 things. Now the good news is that I'm about to get 2 done. So I could get it like today if I really just played the game like a madman. So that's cool, and which means I could have got it probably a few days ago. So that would leave me with like 7 days, so I could get 1 week's worth, which that's kind of nice. But the bonuses you actually get for the platinum, and this means the kind of same trickle down effect for all the wells that they've been trying to say that you get with the other medals, is now they can use them 4 times a day. There is a 9 times bonus. There's going to be a 25% bonus for the drop rate of the boxes when they get used. Naturally, there's an 8% drop rate for the person who has it. There is +4 containers can be found, so you have 6 now that you can get per day. Good luck only finding 2 a day.
The shop's more extended.
The shop already. Yeah, the recycle center, the recycle counter now has 16 extra suits. The number of hangar slots goes up by 1, so now you have 5 hangar slots.
Yeah, they're fucking taunting us with that because it's already in there, but we can't get it this month.
Yeah, and then there's the ability to receive the premium login bonuses. So there is some good stuff as far as people who don't get this. For the people who do have it, they're going to be popping them left and right during games because they're going to have it 4 times a day. So already when it gets toward the end of the month, I see a gold medal like every game. And if you win, you get those bonuses, which is a lot of DP, and we're going to need a lot of DP. But that also is XP for newer players, that's clan points and everything else. So, the medal thing I kind of do like a little bit because it also helps a little bit of everybody when somebody does spend money. So there is that kind of point when the medals started coming out. I still was like, now hold on, this is starting to get some pay to win. But there was at least some benefits for everybody when somebody spends money. So
now you know when someone spent money.
Oh, now you definitely know when. Yeah, now you know when somebody spent a big drop of money. They're like,
yeah,
here we go. Like when somebody
fanning his tickets, like let's go.
Like somebody drops
to the game whenever someone pops a platinum medal in a match, it just plays a
whale noise. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly high five.
Big
like that's exactly what was going through my head. Like as soon as I see a platinum medal, just hit the whale noise button. But like, yeah, that you'll hear like, yeah, that's instead of the little shing noise that it does, it just plays a whale noise. if it's within the first like 10 days.
Just kind of like what Gustav said about the 5th slot, and then even reminding me because I meant to mention but I forgot about the actual extra items. I wonder if they're like going to premium up the stuff that you get. Like So those extra items that are in the store,
Yeah,
for
like,
example,
is it gonna add to the
like-
top row?
Oh,
And is it gonna be like new specific stuff?
yeah, that
yeah,
was
I just wonder how.
like, is it gonna be, how they
Or is
come
it
out with
gonna be a
the
bunch of like ho-hum ass things at the bottom that no one cares about?
like is this gonna be the case with like the heavy gundam getting put in the store once, and then never
Once.
hitting the store ever again until it got to the DP store? Anyway, I'm not salty about that at all. No,
Well,
not at all.
what do you mean?
Yeah, why would you be? You have the suit now.
Yeah, I do.
Smile.
It all worked out in the end.
Yeah, there we go. The system is working as intended.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Ugh. Uh, too much of the working as intended here recently. But yeah.
Exactly. It's a bad case of the dumb scoots. Oof.
So,
Force injector sucks.
so yeah, the shop items though too. So like, will it actually put those suits that, disappear for some reason and don't show up till they're in the DP store? Will it put those back in every now and then? And that was one thing I was talking about. I'm wondering if that's going to be, because again, they're calling the premium login bonuses. What if this is like premium extra ticket shop stuff? So
They have to incentivize it somehow. That would be
Yeah.
another way to do it for sure.
also, by the way, having this feeling of you play 3 games and you get a box guaranteed already feels like, oh man, it's taken so
You're
long
gonna
to get
miss
these
it when it's
boxes.
gone.
But like, well, I mean, my point is, it already feels like it's taken so long to get these boxes anyway. Like, come on, just throw us a bone and make this a permanent thing, or make it you play 5 games and you're guaranteed.
It should be. If they wanted, if
Like-
people were actually getting sour about this, and like, I haven't looked at the polite Japanese comments on the announcement yet. But if people are actually getting sour about this on both sides of the field, like adding something like that where it's like, oh, well, we're still keeping this and it's going to be a permanent thing would be a way to ease that at least a bit, right?
Yeah, because when you get to that point of like 5 boxes, there's days that I've went and I'm like, well, I've got stuff to do. It's on the weekend, but I can just, play random weekend battle stuff, right? So here we go. Let's just keep queuing for all these random, whatever. And simple battles take what, like 7 minutes? So like I'm up cleaning and it's like, yeah, I know I'm AFK. Stop mailing me. But I'm doing stuff. This is just a simple battle. I'm just trying to get my boxes, okay? Leave me alone. And yeah, so then I'm half playing through the day, just making sure I'm not getting kicked out of the game. And yeah, so I am that guy during those. So,
Totally that guy.
oh well.
Congratulations, still doing scummy things.
I mean, if they
Look at
don't,
this man.
if they don't have the system in the game to deal with
If
it,
they are out
then,
here killing,
they're creating a problem with it.
minors.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Blame them for having it in the game. All I'm saying.
I'm still gonna blame you because you're going out of your way to do it.
Oof.
Yeah,
I mean,
Magnum is the problem.
oof. Okay. So anyway, but and like that could be like 12 hours of that, and it's like, oh, I've got 1 box. I popped all 3 of my gold medals.
Yeah.
And we've had even during that, we've had some wins somehow with me being AFK pretty much. We've won like 20 games of gold medals being popped and still 1 box.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if they another tinfoil moment, but I really haven't seen a whole lot of golds, and some of the ones that I've seen have been like almost considerably dupes, like not even tokens, which is interesting. It's just not that common.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the trade-off for it being that guaranteed.
I don't know. I've actually had some pretty good luck, so I can't really say that. I got my Yuma Lightning and something else from the recon stuff, but my lottery boxes have been complete trash.
Oh my god, yeah, same.
They've been super trash.
And it's one of those things where it's like, but we're still giving you stuff. It's like none of the things that I'm obviously looking for. And like, I literally got 3 stamens when I already had one.
Yeah, I'm already
For
at 40
gold,
plus boxes
like,
without
yeah,
a gold on the lottery stuff. We've started the count again.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're 40 plus. We might actually be 50 plus, but I don't remember. I've got a thing that I'm marking a tally, so I'll have to open that up in a notepad somewhere on the desktop. And yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into some of the upgrades, talk about those, and then we'll do some new suit speculation. Because with this Zero Shiki, that's actually a pretty big deal. Let me bring this up. So Emblem, any ones right off the bat that you would like to mention? I know you talked about a couple already, but anything else?
Honestly, with the skill wise, my biggest take on the skill thing is the general damage reduction, or just like the maybe even like the triangle like damage reduction skills in general. Particularly the ones on the raids. Like it's kind of that skill kind of upsets me a little bit. Like I don't think it's a bad thing. I just kind of wish they implemented it differently.
There's an admission that there's a problem, that some of these suits legitimately need that.
Yeah, because I mean, if the skill exists, which they've already said that they kind of realize is a problem, because they've already talked about dropping the triangle at certain cost because raids just have a hard time. So like their first attempt at making raids better for the most part, except for like the G3 and like maybe like the Goof custom or whatever, was kind of wishy-washy. And then the second wave, and this is not official, but like their next attempt, which is the skill, is locked behind their new system, and then it's only on certain raids. And like not even all the raids that they adjusted got the skill. Like the Pixie doesn't have it. The G3 does. The Goof flight type has it. I don't think the G line standard. It wasn't adjusted, but more importantly, like I think
shafted here.
I think every raid should have that skill, honestly, for the most part, just with how like rough it is in matches. I mean, I you know, on one of the rare occasions I'm on Twitter, like, you know, the meta is obviously getting that direction. I saw this tweet where this guy was playing Machine Gun Zaku 1 for some reason, and and you know, apparently he did well in the match, or whatever. And he got a message from one of his teammates in Japanese, and like I used my phone to translate it. And essentially, the guy, like, you know, it was in the case of this, it's one of the situations where you play an off meta suit and you carry. I actually didn't see his results. I mean, I don't know, but he played an off meta suit, and he got like a salty email from a player about him playing a raid when like raids are just but not good. They're just in a bad spot. And like the players know it, the devs know it. Why is this skill that gives them more survivability limited to certain raids, and why is it like so in the Hangar?
Yeah.
You know, like these are supposed to be
ones are really expensive. Especially if they're actually the second tier of the unlockable ones.
I mean, these are supposed to be supplementary upgrades, like still. And I granted the new stuff is kind of moving away from that, but that's not even like a specialization type of thing. Like the way I look at it is like, yeah, these are like almost like specialized upgrades for the suits. Something that should be done like this is something that this is a balance change that needs to happen to these suits, not something that you unlock over time in the Hangar. Yeah.
And by over time, like half a year over time.
Yeah.
If you don't get the tickets you need.
If you're not thirsty enough, it'll take you a million years.
And
so that's kind of frustrating.
Again, like I said, I would love to see.
It'll be more frustrating for me if they use it as justification for not doing overhauls in the future.
Oh, yeah. That would.
Well, those changes are in the Hangar.
Yeah, it's already there. Like, nah. then that's when we gotta like really start taking issue with this, because then you're talking about like they're actually limiting what they're changing specifically to try to promote that shit.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Or they're making patch notes or patch changes to mobile suits premium by putting it in the hangar.
Yeah.
In the
Premium
higher tier
patch
slots.
notes.
Oh god.
my gosh.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
For
like
real,
God.
what I
if you want
hope they'll
access to, if
change.
you want access to our hot fix, you have to buy a premium kit so you can get enough toolkits to unlock it, and then spend time putting it in and getting it later.
Oh,
Ugh,
what you just said
it's-
physically
That's how we
hurt
know
my
you're a
back. Oh
dedicated
my
one.
gosh. What Emblem, please stop.
Yeah, like
Oh,
it's
no,
so
for
scary.
real.
Like
Ow, something just
dedicated
so
popped.
bad.
Ooh, something really just popped when you said that. Ah.
Ouch.
Sorry.
My hip.
I didn't mean to give you whiplash.
Yeah. Hang on, let me resituate myself here. Ow. Ugh. Okay.
But it sucks.
Oh,
Like
Maniac found one that pissed him off. Why the hell does the full armor Gundam have ground have +4 damage to generals? A general that can do more against generals.
It's
yeah,
already
there are
it's
other
already
generals with
pretty
that
much
skill too.
it's pretty much already
The Zaku one,
Let's fucking go.
I think Chad or somebody said it last night. The Zaku one, GS or whichever one.
Oh
it
yeah,
is,
the GS is another
has
one
the
that
skill
has that.
too.
Remember, why would you need a support when you've already
My
got a
thing
bunch of
is
support?
that the GS is already a suit that people dunk on a meme about. I can see that, but when you put it on something that's literally a DACA machine that's already peaking shit at its cost, like God.
Yeah, that thing's
can
already
already
better
replace
than
the
a lot of
support.
supports already in the game.
Yeah.
And now it has advantage against generals. I further my point that the full armor ground Gundam is my favorite support.
Yep. Best.
Now it has advantage against supports. Like, can I just have it say advantage when I highlight?
It might as well just
generals
slap
rather.
yellow on it. It's like now I don't even have disadvantage against the thing that should be killing me.
Yeah, it's green now.
Got a new designation, boys. I mean, we already had, right? We were just saying.
Hey, don't call it green. Don't call that green.
It's green. It's green.
That's a green suit.
No, don't misuse my color like that.
The Mark II's a purple, but it's more colored towards blue because you can't get too deep into red.
Right.
Otherwise, it starts to get bad.
Yeah, that was gonna say. Then you detract from the suit's quality.
Oh my gosh. I said let's kind of get into something a little more cheery, and this just got worse.
No, everything about this is kind of pretty crappy, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. I just
The crazy thing is that right now, because of the high window of entry or bar of entry, whatever you want to say, we're not going to see the significant changes happening until like a good while down, unless people are like,
I was gonna say, except for the
really
3 whales
grinding
that are
to hell, because you're talking about the DP stuff too at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like you still have to put in time to get that part, but that's a really small consolation for the fact that eventually they'll get there, and they'll have plenty of the other currencies in the meantime.
I mean, right now I could afford to up 2 different suits with the amount of DP I've been saving up, but I've just been hoarding my DP for a while because I'm like, if anything hits the DP store, I'm gonna buy it instantly. I'm tired of this nonsense of like, well, I wish I had that time to play for 2 weeks just to, like no life the game for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Canceling every other game I'm streaming for the next 2 weeks, guys, because got to get DP.
Yeah. You play other games of Battle
Lol.
But I mean, at least
hashtag too many games still.
Hashtag too many games.
Oh yeah.
But so looking at some of these here, like the emergency sortie takes 1 second off so that you can sortie faster. But like here we go. I'm just kind of gonna go here. The high mobility has 1,200 shield. The Gelgoog, by the way. Sorry, I guess I need to clarify that. The Hymo Gelgoog has 1,200 to its shield, and I think that's +5. +5 to his range modifier. So 5% damage and 1,200 shield. Now, any suit that is not like the MLRS or the Guard Custom that has a giant shield that is a lot of shield. So that's kind of cool.
That's a lot of shield.
And that's going to be annoying to any raid trying to hit a general at all, because like, oh, shield senpai just saved them, and now you got to hit them like 2 more times before you break that shield. For supports, that's like another extra hit, which is annoying. But like, for instance,
nobody at BB cares about that. They hate raids.
Yeah. Well, here's the full armor Thunderbolt, right?
They hate it because it means they actually have to address a problem. They don't want to think about it.
Yeah, 3% to time for thruster overheat. It also got the cooling support system level 1 again. You got to unlock that a second time on its enhancement list, and then frame reinforcement level 4. And back to what you were saying, Emblem. Like, if you think it needs cooling support system twice, why isn't it addressed in the suit's stats?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. If these are these stat adjustments, and these are some pretty big stat adjustments, 700 health is a pretty big deal. 5% damage is a pretty big deal. 1,200 to the base shield health of a suit, like Gelgoog's, is a pretty big deal. And then certain suits like the MLRS, 1,200 shield is nothing.
Well, I think the big issue is that like the suits that, for the most part, the suits are already in a good place, except for like outliers like the FB and the Zeong, like you were saying. The changes they have are like, your suit's harder to steal, and then you have suits that need.
I mean, I would say there's some metas that have good stats as well, though, and that's my problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I wouldn't say there are some
exceptions.
Oh,
yeah.
Draven came in with one. Emergency sortie seems to be given to suits that they just didn't want to buff. My poor gunner got it, and I only die 1 in every 3 matches with it.
Oof.
So now I wonder if we're gonna see a pattern with some of those, especially with newer additions going forward. If there are just some skills that they put in as the extra one, just because they didn't want to get like too crazy with it.
Well, they can't give any buffs to the they can't get any real buffs to the gunner Gundam, because that was their one that was one of their cases of non-stat adjustment or suit adjustments. And I mean, if they do anything to make it better, it'll just prove that they were wrong.
Oh god. Man, oof. That's probably why I never touched a Mark II either. I feel like we talked about that before too. Like, eesh.
Well, here's another good one. The Super Gundam gets 5% increased damage. What?
Just across the board, like no type specifics?
Well,
plus shooting,
plus range modifier. 5 plus 5. That's 5% damage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, just across that, like no type.
Yeah.
And then ballistic resist gets plus 5 as well.
Man.
So now you have, if you get it, the 34 ballistic res on that thing. No big deal.
Literally just a shootout machine, which it should be, but also it was already that.
Yeah, it was already
people just, I guess there are some people who are really aggressive with it and we're probably like trying to swing on people, but it's like, you probably are like wasting most of your damage doing that. Don't be stupid. Like, actually just shoot.
I am tilting myself. Emergency sortie for the Psycho Zaku Thunderbolt, and plus 5% damage for the Psycho. 5 range modifier for the Psycho Zaku.
You know what? That's good. I'll take that.
No.
I'll take that.
They do nothing for the Thunderbolt.
If it's already a glass cannon, you fucking just...
Well, I mean, it's not much glass anymore. Like, if you put actual health parts on it, you can have like 18,000 health, and you just clap people with range damage. Like my 551 has like a ton of health, good defenses. It's no longer glass cannon. Like, that's my problem. I mean, it's big, so it's easier to hit, but by no means is it glass cannon. You have double dodge roll and everything else. Like, I pair it up there with the Zeong, if not, like it is.
I don't know about that. I feel like the Zeong.
I don't know. I see a lot more Psycho Zaku's popping up now, like closer in those A games and stuff. Like, I'll see Psycho Zaku's and FBs, and then like one Zeong sometimes. So, but I haven't got to play too many of them. Sadly, I've only got to play ace matches. Ugh.
Oof.
Yeah, I've been.
That's a different kind of sweat right there.
Yeah,
especially in space.
So anyway, let's look at the Zommel. It can sortie faster, guys, and it got 5% damage.
Hey.
But like, let's go to one. I just saw. Oh, that the detector. Here we go. Why is the detector getting more health? You know, the thing I commented on is like, oh, well, the Nemo might have some more health. So you know, if we're comparing that to the detector, well, now you got. I don't know what the Nemo gets in this, but you get 500 health and 4% range damage on the detector.
Seems good.
What?
Working as intended. Nothing wrong here, sir.
What's the problem, sir? Oh God. Oh no.
Yeah. But like, see, they could have done some really cool stuff. And I just see one here, like if they gave like low tier suits a dodge roll or something, but
that's how we felt
like
about
if they're
the Hangar in
giving
general, and they still went short with that.
Well, see, if they're giving out stats or skills, like in this case, maneuver armor, dodge roll, that's still too much. That's even worse pay to win if they're giving out skills. Like what?
Mm.
And I mean, practically some of these are skill equivalents. The 5% damage is essentially what you get for crouching. Only now you just have it all the time. So
Just
yeah.
on the move.
So like this stuff, any of this needs to be just cool things. Like you could sortie faster might, you know, be an actual good thing, but you know, nothing too big gameplay impacting. You gain what's wait, really? The normal Gundam gets life or health and just melee damage? Yeah, 5% melee damage and 700 health. That's interesting.
Huh. Interesting that they went with melee for that. That's cool. Especially if you're using a hammer.
This update is trash and we don't need it pretty much.
Well, that's the thing too, right? Like the opposite of this is if they actually really did not try to go that hard with some of these buffs, and we would just be like, this was a waste of time up to update, right? It just would have been a system nobody touched.
Well, I mean,
or even like considered.
Well, here we go. Here's something that I think would be cool, right? Like the capturing the suit. I think that's cool. If the stat bonuses didn't exist, I think the support fire reduction damage is cool.
Mm.
If the rest of the stat bonuses didn't exist, right? If they just came up with more cool, interesting like stats like that, that would be kind of, you know, cool, and little situational bonuses would be nice. Like if that's all these were situational bonuses, then 10 out of 10. Let's do that.
Yeah,
like,
I think I'd be okay with it for the most part too. But like I said before, some of them just feel like premium patch notes getting locked behind the Hangar system, and that's definitely a problem.
And I guess again, like especially since we're talking about having such a high bar of entry, if it would have just been more stuff like that, would you have really bothered? Or like would other people really bother at that point to try to keep up? Because there's obviously they needed a hook of some kind, and that seems to be what they went with.
I think so.
I mean, if it's just kind of a bonus thing to the game, then yeah. Like
I definitely
this feels like pay money now, and that just feels bad. Like
yeah, even without the Hangar stuff, like if we're just talking about the premium emblem, like that's pay money now.
Yeah, this is a huge patch of double pay money now. Like,
well,
1-2 punch.
I would say like even if this thing came out, the Hangar system came out, and the premium and the platinum badge and the premium login didn't exist, I'd probably feel the same way I did about it. Regardless of how you actually like obtain the kits. Like you know, like my problem isn't that, granted you can get to it faster by getting the premium stuff and getting it, but my problem isn't the fact that you can like pay it and get to it faster, even though it is an issue. Like I said, my problem is just like, why is this not an adjustment made to the suits for free?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's gonna be the bigger thing going forward.
Yeah, any kind of stat issue, any kind of stat change here, like this feels like a balancing mechanism for some of these suits.
Especially if they start making specific adjustments to these, depending on like data and stuff too. Like,
yeah,
because there's nothing to say that the ones that they've given these guys are even set in stone, and there's nothing to say that they'll actually like nerf them either.
Well, see, here's the other question. What if it comes down to, oh, well, the G-Line full custom is doing too much range damage now because it has 5%, so we're going to actually lower its range modifier by 5. You know, it's like,
And you can get it back.
Change the stupid Hangar stat, right? Like, change that instead. Boom, instant nerf by 5. Because if people are using the suit and winning with it, that's their main suit, and they've probably got it fully upgraded. That's going to be the interesting thing on the data, and yeah, like I do like that they put out some of this data, but I also feel like they rely on the data a little too much sometimes to do their balancing and prioritize certain balancing. Which
they're just so much like what they do with that data going forward, anyway.
Yeah. And that's something we'll talk about on a later podcast. Is at one point, Emblem brought this up. They actually posted a thing showing the distribution of what people's ratings were.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, so if they ever did that again, I'd be really interested to see what the changes with the rating in the rival system actually had an effect on that distribution. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, like some of these changes, depending on what data they base some of this on, is going to be a problem. Like, if they're basing it on people with the part and they decide to do a balance change around that, then help.
Help?
If it's based on people that don't have it, well then cool. But if you're nerfing one thing, then that even puts more emphasis to get the thing. If it's a bonus, like for instance, the range damage.
Oh yeah, skewed data because of extra meta.
Yeah, so this
I will kind of just add too, like just to put this into context, these numbers, at least from what I can tell, for the dev team are big, because if you remember when they nerfed the Mark II, the reduction that they did was 5%.
Yeah.
So I mean, these like Hangar adjustments are the equivalent to a big nerf to like a top meta mobile suit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, as far as what they've said, 5% is a big deal, even though we know 5% is
it's not
is a slap on the wrist for that suit. But the thing is, going with what they've done, these are big deal changes. So, and because of the way resistances work here in this, some of the suits they got flat, like ballistic resist or beam resist or melee resist. That's some big defense numbers there, because some of those are 5%. Like, let's go down to the lower cost stuff. I'm actually kind of curious.
Like, even for the level 4 CD, like trying to get its last one for the extra range, that'll actually put me into the 60s with all the other parts. Like, even just little stuff like that kind of adds up.
Well, here we go. Now, Lotus just mentioned something with the it should be something useful for the suits, like Heavy Gundam increased ASL area. Now, that one kind of sounds like a interesting, bonus stat more than something that, because I would argue that you don't necessarily need that,
ASL
right?
a little bit better than it already is.
But
oh boy.
For the one saying like increased turning speed for the Easy 8 weapons rack, though, if turning speed is a problem, that should be addressed in the suit itself, I think. Like, that would be more of a core stat, whereas ASL is kind of like a bonus stat. So anything that would be like a bonus stat, cool. I'd be all for them putting something that's a bonus stat. Give us cool, interesting options and bonus stats. Very situational options and bonus stats, and I think the system would be fine. Because right now, even looking though at lower cost suits, the cost is still pretty high to actually to unlock the slots, but the enhancement cost really isn't too bad. Like, the enhancement cost is what your generic for 200 anyway is close to what a 450 to 600 suit would be, just outright. So these are the lower 200 to like 300 suits. Just to get 6 is like fully upgrading a 600 suit. Looks like maybe even 300. Some of them are getting to the 3,000 range. So, but a lot of these again are just straight stat increases. Like the rabbit type, support fire resistance and 4% damage. Ooh, Zaku Cannon. That's kind of juicy.
I bet it is.
Ooh.
And I guess that's what we're talking about too, right? Like, eventually you're going to see one that you like and like, ooh.
But that's what I'm saying. Zaku Cannon, 500 health and 4% damage on the Zaku Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is insane. To me, that is insane because that suit is already collapsed for how much damage. Like both that and the rabbit type right there. Now the rabbit type has an interesting one instead of the increased health. And let's see, that kind of does bring it in line with the rabbit type health wise. But then you got to look at the defenses too. So there's that. But what does the Gigan have? Anti-ballistic armor. But you're normally fighting in range anyway, so it might actually have enough health now to win against another support straight up with that anti-ballistic armor at that cost. And it gains flat damage. Anti-support defense for the sniper. That's kind of funny. I'm resistant against my own type. Yay.
I can actually outsnipe
Sometimes you
other
need it.
snipers. You gotta do those sniping duels.
Yeah. What is that level 1? Actually, let's check that out. That is a 3% damage reduction from other supports. But then I mean, here's my argument with that, right? Obviously, that has a beam weapon, but like straight up ballistic resist at that cost is like just as good, if not better, for like the Gigan. Because you're getting 4% ballistic resist, and it's like, yo, by the way, I'm resistant against pretty much everything at this cost, except for probably the GM Light. So let's see what the Akai gets.
The one thing that unless you're
What?
goofy enough to try to run the bullpup on it.
Oh, this one's a new one. What is this?
It's another reason not to.
Reduces. I was gonna suggest this, but I was like, how would that even work? Reduces time needed to plant and defuse bombs.
Yeah.
There are a couple other suits that have that too.
That was the one I was talking about the other day. And...
Okay, so that's what you were saying. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was kind of confused. Okay. Well, that's interesting. But like stuff like that, or hey, you know, you did a little bit more base damage, so you could go base cheesing with this suit or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like certain suits could get
I will
stuff
say,
like that.
Stuff like that kind of cements or potentially cements the idea that we probably won't see the I think they're called badges in the last game or something. If Maniac's still floating around, he probably knows the name of them. But in the last game, you could buy adjustments that you like made to your pilot that gave you
interesting.
Yeah, they gave you benefits, and with them doing stuff like that, that might be something that we may not see. Maybe, like, it's not saying it's impossible, but it may be trying to keep.
Oof.
Yeah, because it definitely seems like a pilot benefit, not a mobile suit benefit. So then my thinking behind it is like they're trying to keep things strictly focused on the mobile suits. It'd be interesting.
I mean, I'm good with that. If anything, that's just an admission that like they know their pilot stuff is weak.
further showing that a lot of the update is just admittance to weak points in the game, right?
Oh look, the GM Light armor in the Zaku 1 got melee damage and cooling support system level 1 up second time.
Overheat not once. At least the one you spend enough.
And like, you know, the Akai's over here like, yo, I got super buffed, so yeah, they're just giving me I can plant bombs faster and defuse them faster, so make sure I'm not the one spawning in when you have 10 seconds left, because I'm going to defuse that.
Surprise!
Got him.
Yeah, so you got medals in GBO1 and you could equip a few of them. They granted buffs to you, but also made it so your pilot was worth more points when killed. Which has an interesting trade-off. I wonder if it was ever like a significant amount. Something else to keep in mind. I don't know if they'd ever bring that back, but like, again, that's something they could have in their back pocket, right? In case people really have to rail against this system. It's like, oh, we'll put this in and we'll start spreading some of these skills out, or like, rework it this way. Oh, did you guys like the system from GBO1? It's back.
Honestly, I think I'd prefer that over the Hangar system for some of this stuff. Like I'd like to be able to kind of
weird
like
for it to be on specific
spread the stuff around.
too.
Also, again, the like cooling support system. Again, sometimes if you're overheating, it's nice to get it back, but at the same time too, if it kind of feels like a useless upgrade sometimes, and then at the same time it's on there twice. But if they feel like it needs to be on there twice, then they should just buff the suit.
Dude, yeah.
So yeah.
Buff the suit, or even just like adjust some of the parts.
Yeah, that too. Like, just give us. Oh man, that just.
Because that's another thing. They're not gonna have to touch part values with this if they actually go that far with it.
I don't know though. In regards to that exact example, like the Pixie's suit, that's like you're saying, and I mean that doesn't really bother me that much because I mean the Pixie does have thrust problems, but the issue isn't the percentage of thrust; it's the amount of thrust that it has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
because
granted,
of the initial like jump that it has to make.
Yeah, and like maybe like those two problems are hand in hand, and I'm overlooking it. But like I would have the problem you're saying if like the tier upgrade was like +5 the thrust capacity.
Oh yeah,
or something.
Well, I mean, again,
because I mean it's already an adjustment they made in the past.
That skill is kind of more of a, like I said though, it's either useless or it's, if they have two on there. What I'm saying is, if to me feels kind of like a useless skill. But like if it's on there twice, then
obviously they feel some urgency for it.
I feel like I feel like they feel that it's might be a slight problem. So why don't they just fix it if they feel like that's a problem?
I think in that skill it's more of a bonus though, because like the parts, if the parts for overheat reduction were a little bit more, I don't know, economical, reasonable.
Yeah,
like I could see people like wanting to run those a little bit more.
Oh yeah, they
like
definitely would.
Not even
double
making
dodge
them
roll
more potent, but just making them less expensive.
Yeah, because like it reduces the risk of downtime after a dodge roll. Like I think I personally think that the thruster reduction skill is a good example of things that should be in the Hangar. Like the suits that have those, like I don't know.
Well, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. When's the last time we ever said like, man, the thruster overheat rate on this suit is so much longer? Like, because I feel like it's pretty static across the board.
Yeah.
For the most part. So I mean, it's like it's a problem for like any suit more than another. Besides suits that have a dodge roll, which is a good majority of them. So like, it's just more of a supplementary bonus, and like.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That
that's
particular
fine.
change.
Like, that's what I'm saying by when I mean like it feels like it's something useless, right? If it's something.
Well, yeah, but
if it's something.
I mean, unless I just
like,
misheard, Magnum. You said like your literal example was them giving a double thruster consumption benefit.
Yeah.
And saying like if they think it's a problem, why isn't it just an adjustment? But like.
Well, that's my two problems with most of these, right? So like it is useless. So I'm like whatever. But if it was really useful, then I think that's a problem. Like as far as stat bonuses, right? So this is one of those cases where like I don't really see it as like a big problem for it to be there, but at the same time, for them to like put it there twice, it just feels weird that it's there twice, is what I'm saying. Not really that there's a big problem with it.
That's just a suit specialization though, right? Which I think was the idea of the further level of enhancement, but it got so warped by some of the other stuff that they did that felt more like a patch note.
Again, that's what I'm saying. Like that, yeah. I maybe that's why it's Let's just go with that then, because that may be why I feel this way about it. Because it's like it feels like some of these are patch notes, and this is one that's just like is on a lot of them twice, and it's like why? So maybe that's it. Oh wow, the GM Lite has level 2 cooling support and a level 1 cooling support.
There you go.
Okay, that just made me.
And I mean, that makes sense of that suit, though, right? Like, it's supposed to be more maneuverable. It's lighter armor. It's not as heavy, so it should be able to, I don't know, recover faster. Yeah. Who knows? Whatever.
But
so like
my point is,
I
any
think
of
in
these
suits
things
like that or high
wouldn't be
mobility double or what was that?
Well, what I think in some of these, if they're not game changer stats, then I'm kind of fine. Like most of the enhancements prior to this, yes, in the sense of like if you've got all the enhancements for like say a Zaku cannon versus one that doesn't, and you're both literally shooting at each other bullet per bullet, yes, one's going to win. But that's also the same thing as saying if you have parts and the other person doesn't have parts, the other one's going to win. So there is that thing, though.
You wouldn't find yourself in that situation.
Yeah, right. So that I mean, it sucks that it exists, but it's not impossible to win, and it's not the biggest deal. For some of these stats, though, I feel like some of these are, for the amount of investment that you have to put into it, are good enough game changers that it feels bad if you're not investing into it, and that's one of the biggest problems. Even the enhancement system has a little bit of that, but it is not that big of a deal for some suits. I would argue that level 4 and higher suits, where they have the complex expansion level 2 on there, that they actually feel like that's where the enhancement system hurts the worst, is when level 4 suits and higher is one of your suit that you use.
Yeah, I feel you. The problem is that there's too much of a variance between the spread. Like you have stuff that seems like it would fit in fine for just like minor specializations, and then you just have these crazy skills that are just like super pushed.
Well, here we go. Here's an example.
Actually, really good.
Agu guy.
It makes it rough.
Agu guy. Let's look at all of its enhancements. You ready for this? So just period. It's base enhancements. So complex expansion level 1. Cool. We know what that does.
Seems good.
+1 to melee modifier. Okay. The normal stat stuff. Anti-beam and anti-melee level 1. And then the explosive thing. Okay, cool. So you can plant and defuse 2 seconds faster. But its final upgrade, 4% melee modifier.
Seems good to me. Screw generals.
Oof. Yeah, we're gonna be picking and choosing a lot, right? Like there are some that we're good with, and others are just like, but why though?
But why are you? Why?
I don't know. I'm in the camp that like raids are so oppressed that like giving more of an edge to a raid just doesn't, like, I don't know. I'm very biased. Like 1000% will admit that like whenever I hear things like this raid is push, it's like fuck the generals. Like, you know?
I mean, you saw me there when I looked at the Zaku cannon, which I've got up now, being like,
Getting a little moist.
I gotta spend my modified on this. Why did I even like for science the rabbit type? Although it looks kind of juicy too, you know, right? Like, I was right there.
Could have did it for less.
Right. Shit. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. But right there with you on that a little bit. No, actually, they're pretty much the same price. As far as modification kit value, from what I can tell, all level 5s are 150 of the modification kit, and all level 6s are 300 of the modification kit. Period. So it is 450 for every suit per type of, per rarity. There we go. That's the right word. Per rarity of modification kit. So again, we'll figure out here in the next week or two how many you get per week, how many you can get by the end of the month, and stuff like that. So we'll definitely be talking about that again. But yeah, I'm almost beat up at this point from talking about this. So any other thoughts from you guys?
I'll just go back to when I was playing a campaign and I killed all 6 of those GMs with my striker. It's like, heck yeah, fuck the generals.
Oh my gosh, like
just screaming it as he sliced several in half. Fuck pretty the generals.
I mean, literally after I kill all those guys, I like that was like what's the word I'm looking for? Cathartic or whatever.
Yeah,
it felt so
like,
good.
Is this? Are you having a cathartic moment here, Emblem? And he's like, yeah.
Fuck generals, man.
Like,
kill them all.
That was one of the funniest parts. Yeah, he got out there in his GM striker, and there was like an army of like 12 GM2s that came at him.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always remember when he got that massive like strafing combo, like literally switching between his spear and his beam saber, and the dude just did not die. Just slapped the shit out of him. And by the time someone else reached him, he was like not even on a sliver. He just got to walk away from it. Like, fuck, dude.
Yep. You work hard, do all this stuff, and you just
amazing highlight until he died. Like,
yeah.
Jesus.
Oh man, that's I never seen that one, but oh man, I don't want to see it.
But like,
I don't want to see
I
it.
compare between that and this
Oof.
weird like cathartic moment. It's like,
yeah,
at least there's been some change.
Now
Even
yesterday makes so much more sense.
Hey, Thob's in this game.
Yeah, raids have been having a rough time for a while. It's just steadily getting worse as we go along.
Oh man. Okay, so but yeah, anything else with the this modification facility add-on thing or the platinum metal itself?
The front line is going to be rough is actually a canned message. Holy shit. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when people don't pick
like
enough generals.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, when people don't have like enough generals, like I see that all the time because I'm like always swapping to a second support and they're like front line's going to be rough and I'm like
I think it's because we got a white dingo on here. Like a sniper white dingo. So he's like, oh, front line's going to be rough. Don't be a little bitch. You're in a beta.
Can I put that on my
you literally put an emblem down and everything. Just get in there.
In-game thing, because maybe instead of saying take the generals whenever someone yells at me like take the support, I'll just respond with the front line's gonna be rough. Like, you guys stop being fuck boys and get in there. Like, if you want me to take the generals, form a front line and keep the if you want me to take the supports, rather form a front line and keep the enemy generals busy.
Oh my, this one's gross. The prototype Gundam at level 1, so 350 cost, 700 extra HP on that thing and 5 melee modifier. Get that out of here.
Good.
Hey, let's
go. No, Emblem, you don't get this one. That thing claps too hard.
Raids, any bonus benefit for raids are immediately fine.
Like
they should just be put to the suit
raids
itself, like we were talking about before. But like, you know what?
Oh, like a friend of mine who plays just raids and stuff and like creates new accounts and levels with them. He does nothing but like the first suit he gets. When can you get this thing? Sergeant 1, really? Huh. But yeah, when he goes to Sergeant 1, then I guess, and then he buys the proto and then takes that all the way up, like in a day to like A. So I hate the proto. I really hate the proto Gundam. I'm like, that thing at 350 is like the grossest thing. Even 400 is still pretty solid. But like at 350, like I have to be like, Pale Rider Cavalry, come save me, help.
Help.
Cavalry has arrived.
Sorry, your general is too busy sloshing around in the back fighting a raid or something.
Oof.
Or shooting things if it's machine gun.
Ouch.
Machine gun goes bang bang.
I am really interested in playing the Hangar now. Just throwing that out there. Might try to do that after this, just once, and then.
I haven't seen any sweaty Hangar stands as of yet, but I'm interested to see it when it happens.
But yeah, the that's about all I got for this one. So. You guys don't have anything else, we could go ahead and hop to some suit speculation and then go ahead and start doing some shoutouts.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, suit. New suit. What do you guys think? Because my biggest thing is this just opened up a new series.
It did, but I was looking at the series. There's like the Saikamu, there's like the prototype Rick Diaz, I think, is another one. And then the Saikamu is Haman suit. I forget what it was.
Oh, the Saikamu Dom?
Yeah.
Like from Char's Completed Affair?
Yeah, but those are the only other two that we don't already have or that aren't like just general Zeta shit.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's just a manga series.
Okay.
Is this suit from Char's Completed Affair? I actually didn't even look.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Or like it's also in there. I don't know which one came first.
Oh, okay.
I should say that. Like that's, I'm assuming. because that's before she became the Haman we all know. That's the only other suit I'm pretty sure she actually like got in. Actually, kind of interested to look at her list, but like, I guess the big
It's got some interesting suits, including the Ant guy.
Yeah, it's not super extensive in terms of like new stuff. It's just kind of interesting the combination of suits that are in there.
So, do we want to? I mean, at this point, again, with this coming out, even our previous statements, especially for me, and even more so now, I have no clue what the new suit's gonna be.
Especially with the anniversary coming up still. Like, once that passes, we can probably make some better guesses, because we'll just see what they blew everything else out of the water with. But like, with that still looming, like, we're not gonna know.
Even then, they've just been pulling things out of left field at this point. So, like, anybody's guess. Throw a dart at a board of suits and pick that. That is my guess. But I will say, though, it's really interesting, though, now that they're opening up stuff like this. We've still got what is the one that Striker Customs from Katana or whatever? We've got so what is that, the Domel that what's his name's always bringing up?
Mecha, yeah, he's ready.
Let's see, what else?
The suit that has the completed katana system that just like freaking disintegrates things,
no,
or whatever. That probably won't make it in. I mean, that thing literally moonlight butterflies things from my understanding.
Yeah, right.
So we probably won't see that one.
Make it
you can use it once.
Speculation is Turn A Gundam,
Turn A Gundam,
the Barbados, and Wing Zero.
Yeah. I mean, if they made it a raid, the Barbados might actually be balanced. So
okay. Here's your raid.
Shoot, the Barbados would be balanced, or they could put the Barbados in the game as like a 300 raid.
Okay,
and it would even change all that much.
Okay, Emblem. Here we go. I got your raid. The completed katana system, but here's what they do: you have to press the button, and you can use it once, and then your head and legs explode after that.
Oh god!
And like, you get to disintegrate
the
one.
Suit dies.
You can repair your legs and head, right?
Okay, so it doesn't literally.
It's like end of Hades, like after you strike somebody, but you literally just yeet them out of existence with one melee hit.
I mean, that's pretty much how exam works right now. For the most part, you activate it and yeet one person and die. So I mean, sure. I guess I'll take a thing that's already in the game. Can it extend their like respawn time or something too, or kick them out of the match?
Oof.
I would do it to a general, of course. You don't delete the support. The exam no one to bully for the rest of the game.
Right.
But you like delete their Mark II or something.
On the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my.
Juice gets it.
Oh my, I don't like this talk right now. Oh man.
That's fine as long as you're not a general.
Yeah.
You get yeeted. Just don't get yeeted.
No, but then you just said the other stuff about the support. Food on the table.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would like destroy you in Lotus and custom games. Like you, Lotus like, Bio, probably Noob Sama. You guys would get yeeted on the spot.
Nah, man, I've got my see. The thing is, you forget I've got my support hubris. So I don't know what you're talking about.
It just means you're gonna be laughing until you get clapped.
Yes.
Yeah. You're sitting there and laughing, and then you get freaking snapped out of existence. Like,
hey, at least
paint that bitch gold and purple and be Thanos.
Oh no! Oh, they make the Thanos snap suit. Oh no! But like, yeah, I mean, we have to sit there and laugh as we rain down volleys of missiles and death on everybody.
Until you get your prostate exam by your local raid.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
it's a reality check.
I mean, my line that happens every now and then. My anus, help!
Yep, my anus.
Ooh, that coffee's gotten a little too cold to actually. But yeah. So let's go through. What would you like to see next week? 3 suits. Go. Oh, there's a Gundam Maniac. Wait. Yeah, there's a Gundam Maniac on my screen.
Are you playing Battle Up?
No, I've got it up on the screen where I was showing off stuff and things.
Oh, okay. Raid Methus.
Maniac's here this episode,
Z2.
guys. Right there. He's on this.
Maniac's here in like every episode because he's just saying shit in chat. Like he's literally like Delta Gundam 1. That's his pick.
Z2 and the Regis.
The Regis. The Regis.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm ready. I'm down for that. There's another full custom suit that we were looking forward to, and I forget what its actual designation was. It's like one of the other Pale Riders. We still don't have the Dullahan, by the way.
No, we don't.
Man, okay, I kind of want that.
Or full armor Pale Rider.
Wait, which one are you talking about, Emblem?
Which one?
Rigazi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a mass produced
Full armor
Zeta
Mark 2
Gundam or
too,
something.
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Full armor Mark 2 and 3.
Yeah. Well, I know
those
the
have
full armor
versions.
but the second one he said, I was like, but then okay, never mind. When
Oh,
you
the
were like,
Z2.
Regis, I was like, what?
No, the Rigazi.
Yeah,
the Rigazi. Gotcha. Now I know. Now I'm following.
Z2 would be cool. Z2. He said Z2, Delta Gundam, and Kibile. Well, we gotta wait for the anniversary for Kibile. At least I would assume.
They're gonna do me dirty and release the Kibale at Christmas with the Double Zeta Gundam.
Oh my god.
I'd hate that. To
Hey, we get the level 4 Alex at that point, though. Let's go.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a new level of the Alex in the camper.
We got the camper's here. Isn't it cool? You can blow up people at 650 now.
You can get blown up at 650 now, you mean?
You just have to be extra sweat.
I would love to high mega cannon a camper and just freaking leave stumps on the ground. Like, yes,
you
please.
might as well get in that maxi boost then.
I mega cannon!
Mega cannon!
Fucking solar, or not solar flare, tri blast with the double Zeta. Yeah.
Just gotta line them up a little bit and you'll be good.
Ooh, Gustav, the day reset on Saga.
Oh my. Oh god, that means I'm probably not gonna sleep. Fuck it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check this out. You guys
need to sleep.
Okay, hang on.
What's sleep?
Real quick,
I never heard of that.
We are gonna have a tangent right now because
are we?
So what is this?
Are you sure?
It's the end of the podcast.
I mean, okay, I can wait. No. I can wait.
Well, this is 4 hours, and that's just the podcast.
Okay, so that's Emblems. Gustav, what is yours?
I mean, all of those that we mentioned would be really good. I kind of just want more full armor stuff.
Yes.
Full armor Mark 2 or 3.
Okay, so
Delta Gundam might be a bit, but I still want either the Proto Zeta or the Z2. That'd be a cool couple.
Okay, so what I want to see, I still want to see the full armor Slave Wraith.
Mm-hmm.
A transforming support. It's just going to always be there. And then there are some good options, but I think they might hold the Palace Athene.
Right now.
I say they'd hold the Palace Athene from. Actually, here's what I'm calling for and I know these could possibly be supports, so it's kind of scary saying all these at the same time. But I want to see the Palace Athene added to my list.
Record this, and if none of them become a support, then just eat the game.
Oh my! So for the anniversary event, Palace Athene, Boundock, the O, and the Cubile are my picks to see at those 4. I'm calling are coming out during the anniversary event. If they come out sooner, then cool. But if they're not out before then, anniversary event for sure. But back to the thing, transforming support. I want to see that. If we don't get one of those soon, the rage. The rage is building.
The anger, man.
You were playing a transformable support last night, Magnum, the Hill Dolpher. It transforms into a tank.
All they have to do is give it its parachutes from fucking Maxi Boost and it can fly.
Okay, that would be kind of legit.
That'd be kind of funny.
Emblem?
Just gets extended jumps like whoosh. Goodbye.
I'm Emblem.
No. Okay, fine. I'll clarify. My second pick is a transforming flying support that has Wave Rider mode kind of shit. Ah!
You play your tank and you like
no, for real though, I'm gonna have like a full like for real. If we go through all the transforming suits and they're not a flying support,
none of them is yellow.
I'm gonna have like a straight up Angry Joe moment. Like for the podcast, we're gonna have one. Now at least take my headset off and walk over there.
Angry Joe already had his moment with this game. We don't need any more of that.
Like, I mean, we're gonna have the whole.
Yeah, way back
then.
Yeah, we're gonna have that yell, and I'm gonna do a whole video with that, and yeah,
just gameplay and Magnum yelling in the background the entire time.
But yeah, you know, he did like a video. He tried it out. He tried the game out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but. And then he was just like, I don't know how anything works. And it was just silly to watch.
Dog shit.
Like knowing how the game works and watching him try to
shoot
new stuff. And yeah,
the bigger thing is that he was new, and then like no one that was really on his support side was just like particularly great at it.
Yeah, so like nobody knew. Like he was just literally coming in and flailing really badly, and
then just getting pissed off.
And they'd be like, "This game just sucks," and that was it. And I was just like,
oof.
So, but anyway, back to the suit stuff. So the third one though, the actual third one here, just because. So I want to see the full armor slave wraith, flying transformable support, and then with the Zero Shiki being a thing, I want to see either the Shiki Kai or the full armor Shiki Kai as a support. That'd way we have the trio, full team of Shikis, 550 to 600 cost. Let's go, dude. That would be legit. Like, we literally had a team, the game I played with Chad, we literally had 3 Zero Shikis, 1 Hyaku Shiki, and then I was the MLRS. Versus an MLRS, some Zero Shikis, and 1 Hyaku Shiki. And I was just like, what a mirror match. If there wasn't a Mark II on the enemy team, then we would have had a complete mirror match.
No Mark II's allowed.
Yeah, so
yeah, can we just make that a rule in general?
Right?
No Mark II's
allowed. Again, if we had a matchmaking system where you could do the little draft pick thing, you could just ban the Mark II.
Just filters or anything.
You do a draft pick, ban the Mark II, everybody picks some suits that isn't the Mark II. Yeah. Get our draft pick in here.
It wouldn't be worth the rated because you're not fighting every possibility, you scrub.
No. Competitive games already do draft. Raw.
Why are you so trash at the game? Oh my god. Boom.
But anyway, yeah, that's my third pick though.
Get in there, you fucking coward.
I would love to see the full armor Shiki Kai, but the thing is, apparently it doesn't actually show up till Double Zeta era. So, but I mean,
we're already getting suits from there.
I know. So there we go. Full armor Shiki Kai for the support.
I want to see
Shiki.
them squirm at an event trying to explain that right now, depending on like how far they're actually going to go.
Oh yeah, that's going to be funny. Like with what they've already done, like yeah, I would love to see an event where they're actually getting questioned or actually talking about it and be like seeing what they actually say. That'd be fantastic.
But, I wish all this stuff wasn't going on. I'd like they've given us good information at the events whenever they hold them. It's just we haven't had any in a while due to everything going on.
But
remember when the Geneos was leaked?
Yeah, that's right.
What a suit
wasn't the Zeong leaked there too at an event essentially?
Yeah, I think it was mentioned during a live stream.
Yeah, and then we were like, "Oh, well, we know what this week's banner is because it was like actually leaked."
The boys.
But yeah, so there we go. That's my 3 picks. But I agree, more full armor stuff. Let's get more.
Oh my god, it's Gustav.
Hey, it's me.
In the game.
Yeah. What up? My
There's
brother's
danger
a
up
punk.
ahead.
Yeah, Gustav's like, it's dangerous up there. Take me. I'm like, okay, Gustav, you can come with me, I guess.
What? Do you have them?
No, I wish. I want a
I
pocket
was gonna
Gustav.
say I want a pocket Gustav. I want to see what his abilities got. Because Guinea actually has Delta Peltro, which I know is probably going to be an AOE, and I'm already hyped for that.
Ooh, that does sound good. I think I have Guinea. I should look at her skills. We're losing track. But yeah, so mobile suit speculations.
Gundams.
So yeah, well, I mean, I guess that is our speculation. So at this point, guys, before we get into
I have S rank Guinea, never mind.
Some dangerous tangent.
Oh, but she's
territory.
Yeah. The latest Zeta is gonna have Delta Peltro as one of its abilities.
Fantastic. All right.
Oh my god.
I've been asking for some crossovers.
Literally just sprays out in a fucking like cone in front of it. Oh my god,
I mean, it'd just be beam confused, right? Come on.
It'd be amazing. So if some suit had that in form of like its mega particle cannons and it just did that kind of pattern, it's like, okay, that's just a wave in front of it. It scans for bodies essentially.
Oh my. But yeah. So do we want to go ahead and get into some shout outs and wrap it up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Boop and
wow.
Yeah, Gustav, what have you got going on?
Gustav_XIII on Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch, more or less. I'm still doing Disgaea. I don't know. I want to try to do some practice matches, at least before I try to pass out and actually get up tomorrow for clan matches. I don't know if it's going to happen, especially if this thing about Maxi Boost on is actually true. I kind of want to investigate that too.
Ooh,
so we'll see. But I mean, going forward, we're going to be doing more Disgaea once all this shit settles down. The window for doing it is getting smaller because we actually have Gundam shit to do now. That's the wild thing. It's a good reason, but it's kind of getting in the way of some things.
For sure.
But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, we'll be doing dailies every day regardless. In GBO2. Still trying to roll out some more stuff on my YouTube page in terms of just VODs for older, like, secondary playthroughs. And then whenever my graphics card feels like coming in and we finish up Disgaea, the next game is definitely going to be Yakuza Kiwami 2, because I want to actually give that a good playthrough.
There you go. By the way, though, too, Gustav has a clan, GS3, capital GS3.
Yep, it's true. Capital
Anybody
GS3.
who wants to, that doesn't have a clan, you can join literally up to. So you can join tonight and join into the festivities tomorrow morning.
For the love of God, if you're actually trying to get in there for clan matches and if your shit can't handle it, we're there. Let us know. It's literally not even top capacity. We just need a group of 5.
For sure.
But yeah, Emblem, what you got going on?
Mainly a lot of PSO2 and stuff. I'm still waiting for brain surgery on my PlayStation 4, so still video games, still internet. PSO2. I'm definitely gonna have to look into Maxi Boost stuff as well, even though we have the same problems. So we're on like a sort of forced hiatus right now, but once we get back on track, it'll be more of the same for sure. Games, internet, fun, GamingEmblem. Wow.
Also T3P.
Wow, Emblem.
Yeah, and apparently Team Tripants is a thing too. Clan battles.
I got you guys.
You can be up super early in the morning and get right in, rub elbows with all the sweaty tryhards.
Yeah. Nice and sweaty before you fall asleep again.
Exactly. It's like getting tired by working out.
There you go. But real quick question on the Maxi Boost stuff. So it could be up tonight if you've pre-ordered it, but if you haven't, then it should be tomorrow night at 8
it should
p.m.
just be the regular.
So, and it's from 8 p.m. on Fridays till 8 p.m. on Saturday. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Okay. It was like I'm always saying it in Eastern too, so that's 11 Eastern to Yep.
So 11 tomorrow night to 11 on Saturday. So might be checking that out because I plan on getting it, which if that is the case, then what I might do is add an extra hour onto the clan matches tomorrow. So as usual though, everybody's info will be down in the description below. But I'm EG Magnum. I stream on Twitch. You got the Twitters, Discord, YouTube, stuff like that. So, like I said, the Maxi Boost on stuff going to be probably doing the clan matches tomorrow morning if I wake up in time. Yay! If not, but again, for anybody in my clan, just if you can't make it or just oversleep, don't worry about it. I mean, it's pretty much all of these morning stuff. That's, like
fingers crossed that we have another evening one to look forward to soon.
Right. Like every fourth one seems to be the late night one. So, also, I will try to make it for this one because it is 550 and I get to use my NRS. Let's go.
Yeah. Impact site.
Bully.
Yeah, time to bully. Let's get it. But anyway, the Path of Exile, got to finish the big harvest boss kill by Monday, I believe, or like the end of the day Sunday. So tomorrow after the clan matches is going to be, like I said, depending on where money is right now, Maxi Boost on, or if that's not the case and we can't play it tomorrow morning, it'll be straight into Path of Exile, and then, like I said, Path of Exile pretty much every day that I can up until next week. Let's see, anything else? Oh yeah, this weekend got a tabletop thing. Gonna be doing another episode of Under a Southern Blue Sky in Robotech. So that's what I'm playing in. And then, speaking of tabletop stuff, next week on Wednesday is going to be our next session, 6 p.m. Eastern. Also for the Saturday thing, that is 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll be posting that in the Discord. I probably should actually know that, but oops, I'm being responsible.
Yeah, another episode of The Value of Space.
Oh, yeah. The Value of Space is what I've titled the campaign for Wednesday. Now, no, that one is 6 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. The Under a Southern Blue Sky is 9:15 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So, there we go.
Jeez.
And then Downtime in the Hangar, of course, next week on Thursday. Other than that, I might actually be taking a break Monday or Tuesday or both. We'll see what happens.
But, breaks are nice.
Yeah. But been going pretty hard here lately and stuff and things. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave us a comment down below of what you'd like to hear us talk about in the future. But anyway, guys, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Later.